Chapter 1451. Even Qin Fun's expression changed drastically. When he saw Sumo's attack, he knew that this old man's cultivation was high. But now that he was facing Sumo's sword attack, he realized that he had underestimated his strength. Qin Fan had no time to think. As he thrust his spear into the void, he slapped Qiuya with his palm. Qiuya immediately retreated hundreds of meters away. At this moment, Sumo's sword chi had already fallen and collided with the thousands of red spear radiance in the air, causing an earth-shattering noise. Rumble! The violent airflow swept across the ground and immediately blew Qin Fan up. Sumo's expression changed slightly. He did not expect Qin Fan to be so powerful at such a young age. However, under the strong power of the Rainbow Devil Storm Spear, Sumo leaped lightly and retreated to the safe ground. Qin Fan was seriously injured, but he did not dare to stop. When he saw Sumo approaching, he quickly leaped up and slashed at the void. The 100-meter-long golden saber chi seemed to split the sky into two. Sumo's expression changed again, but he quickly slashed down with his sword. The sword chi immediately condensed into a huge long sword and shot out. When the long sword hit the saber chi, it was as if it had stabbed into a piece of tofu and split the golden saber into two. The loud noise exploded in the air, as if a crack had been blasted in the sky. After the huge sword chi broke through the golden saber, it was still flying and landed on the ground where Qin Fan was standing. It immediately exploded and raised a cloud of dust. "Good boy. You have a lot of treasures on you. Seems that today is my lucky day. Not only will I find the Scorpion King, but I will also get some cultivation resources." Sumo's old voice penetrated the dust. He did not take Qin Fan seriously at all, as if he was determined to kill him. A black shadow flashed, and Sumo had already landed on top of Qin Fan's head. His face was full of a playful smile, and he deliberately did not slash down quickly. Instead, he slowly raised the long sword in his hand above his head, as if he wanted to torture Qin Fan mentally. Qin Fan lay in a huge pit and panted heavily. He realized that Sumo's strength was at the same level as the sect leader of Thousand Shadow Sect, Qing Chun. He was many times stronger than the sect leaders of small sects like Shen Immortal and Ling Jinfeng. Just as the long sword was about to fall, a fiery red mighty cannon appeared in front of Qin Fan's abdomen. Sumo's expression changed when he saw the Wind Cloud Devil Cannon. Obviously, he did not know what it was. Bang, 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 bang. But before he could figure it out, the two muzzles on the Wind and Cloud Wild Demon Cannon had already fired fiercely. Qin Fan still owed the system 1 million Hedonist points, and he only had 69,000 Hedonist points left. He had no money to buy other Star Technology war cannons, so he could only use the Mad Demon Cannon that could be activated with genuine chi to bombard Sumo. Suddenly, thousands of genuine chi cannonballs shot into the sky, startling Sumo. He quickly sheathed his sword and dodged. His speed of escape was so fast that even the vital energy bullet could not catch up to him. Qin Fan took advantage of this gap to jump out of the pit and fired the cannon at Sumo. There were so many genuine chi cannonballs that even Sumo could not dodge them with all his strength. He was hit by dozens of cannonballs, and his expression changed drastically. He thought that he would be blown to pieces. But after a while, Sumo realized that the genuine chi cannonballs did not cause much physical damage to him. "You little brat, trying to play tricks on me with this stupid thing? I'll kill you with my own hands." Sumo was furious and chased after Qin Fan instead of escaping. Qin Fan was extremely depressed. Although the genuine chi cannonballs of the Wind and Cloud Wild Demon Cannon were not as powerful as the tracking cannonballs of the Black Dragon series, ordinary martial artists of LV6 genuine chi and below would not dare to face them head-on. But now, Sumo did not even bat an eye at all. Qin Fan did not believe it and threw dozens of upper spiritual stones into the Wind and Cloud Wild Demon Cannon. Suddenly, the cannonballs of the Wind and Cloud Wild Demon Cannon became even more ferocious, and the genuine chi cannonballs filled the sky like a heavy rain. Sumo was no longer afraid of these sugar-coated cannonballs. He braved the storm and rushed toward Qin Fan. There was a layer of genuine chi shield in front of Sumo, and the genuine chi cannonballs could not even penetrate it. The cannonballs landed on it like ripples on water. "Brat, Let's see what other trump cards you have. Everything is useless in front of absolute strength. Suemo rushed to Qin Fan and casually slapped the genuine Qi cannonball away and landed on Qin Fan's body. Hundreds of cannonballs were so powerful that Qin Fan was blown away even with the protection of the holy rock armor. He had purposely returned to Qiu Ya's side. Just as Qin Fan landed, Suemo had already turned into a black shadow and followed him. He swung his long sword and looked like he was going to kill Qin Fan and Qiu Ya. Boom! The sword Qi shook violently in the air, and a long crack appeared on the ground. Sumo's expression changed. The moment he landed, he immediately flew around in the dust. However, he did not find Qin Fan and Qiu Ya even after searching for hundreds of meters. How is this possible? They ran away from me? Suemo looked incredulous. He could not figure out what was going on no matter how hard he thought. At the same time, Qin Fan and Qiu Ya landed on the Immortal Island. Qin Fan sat cross-legged and started to recuperate as soon as he landed. Qiu Ya looked around with her beautiful eyes wide open in shock. Where is this? Qin Fan said while he was recuperating. This is called the Immortal Island. It's different from the other planes in the secular world of China and the Divine Land. No one knows the formation to enter this place, so you don't have to worry about Suemo. Qiu Ya was stunned by Qin Fan's words. When she first stepped into the Divine Land, she felt like she was dreaming. She never thought that there would be a place like the Divine Land outside of the secular world of China. However, the Immortal Island in front of her was even more magical. It was surrounded by abundant spiritual qi. There was a towering tree full of fiery red fruits in front of her, and countless small fire beasts were playing under it. Not far away, there was a 5-meter-tall giant beast running. Hua Xiaozhen, Hua Yan, and the other girls were not on the Immortal Island. They had probably returned to the Spirit City. Duan Yu and the others were cultivating on the Immortal Island. Ever since Qin Fan opened the Immortal Island, the 4 heroes had been sitting cross-legged here day and night. Now they had all broken through their realms. Duan Yu and golden-haired Lion King had reached the LV7 Genuine Qi realm, while Shimen Chueshue and Ouyang Feng had reached the LV4 Genuine Qi realm. Qin Fan, there's someone here, and a giant beast. Qiu Ya became alert when she came to her senses. She still did not know much about the Immortal Island. The chaotic true qi in Qin Fan's body slightly stabilized. He opened his eyes and smiled at Qiu Ya, saying, "Don't be afraid. Those 4 people are my subordinates. That giant winged fire demon is also my little brother." Qiu Ya looked at the 4 people and 1 beast in the distance in disbelief. She never expected them to be Qin Fan's subordinates. She was extremely intelligent and quickly thought of a deeper place. Suddenly, she widened her beautiful eyes and shouted, "Qin Fan, don't tell me this Immortal Island is also yours?" Qin Fan's smile became even wider. "You can say that, but it's not completely mine. However, the area that you can see now is my territory. As for the place in the distance that is shrouded in immortal fog, I have never been there." Qiu Ya became more and more interested in the Immortal Island. She could feel that this was a land of immortals. The surrounding spiritual qi was dense, and it was even stronger than that of China. Qin Fan took Qiu Ya to wander around the Immortal Island. The 2 of them walked to the end of the plains. In front of them was a land shrouded in immortal fog. It was impossible to see what was inside the fog. "Qin Fan, can't we go in?" Qiu Ya asked curiously. Qin Fan was also very curious. When he first opened the Immortal Island, he wanted to explore the land shrouded in immortal fog. However, Little Pig advised him not to go there rashly. At least, his current realm was too low. However, the outside was now occupied by Suemo. With Qin Fan's current state, there was no way he could go out. He knew that the Immortal Island was a higher-level immortal cultivation world. Even an ordinary stone on the ground was comparable to a medium spiritual stone in the Divine Land. Qin Fan thought that if he stepped into the land shrouded in immortal fog, the concentration of spiritual qi might be even denser. Perhaps he could find some spiritual herbs and try to break through the barrier of level 8 genuine qi. Just as he was planning, Little Pig's voice sounded in his mind. "Master, Risk and opportunity coexist. If you really want to go to the land shrouded in immortal fog, it's best to bring giant winged fire demon and the 4 heroes with you. Since Little Pig had suggested taking the risk, Qin Fan no longer hesitated. He immediately called giant winged fire demon, Duanyu, and golden fur lion king over. Choya, stay in those areas and wait for me to come back. Qin Fan instructed Choya after making his preparations. Choya hurriedly grabbed Qin Fan's arm. She had just met Qin Fan in the Divine Land and did not want to leave Qin Fan's side for even a moment. Bring me along. Choya raised her little head with a pleading look on her face. Qin Fan helped her straighten her hair that had been messed up by the wind. He smiled and said, "Don't worry. This immortal island is my territory. Nothing will happen to me." Qin Fan did not mention that the land shrouded in immortal fog was full of danger, mainly because he did not want Choya to worry. In the end, he did not bring Choya along. Instead, he asked Shimin Chueshue and Ouyang Feng to protect her outside. After all, this was Immortal Island. No one knew what the land shrouded in immortal fog was like. Choya's strength was too low. Qin Fan was afraid that if she really encountered any danger, he would not even be able to protect himself, let alone save Choya. After settling Choya down, Qin Fan set off. Giant winged fire demon walked in front to lead the way. With every step it took, it felt like the ground would shake. Qin Fan walked in the middle. Behind him were the 2 heroes, Duanyu and Golden Fur Lion King. With Qin Fan's lineup, if they were in the Divine Land, they would be among the top existences. However, now that they were walking in the unknown territory of Immortal Island, everyone felt inexplicably nervous. Immortal Island was shrouded in immortal fog, and the few of them had already walked into the immortal fog. Qin Fan realized that as long as he stepped on the ground, the surrounding immortal fog would automatically dissipate. Those areas would become clear, and they were not much different from the area around the fire demon tree. Chapter 1452. Little Pig, what's going on? Qin Fan asked anxiously. Little Pig's voice was also anxious. I'm not sure. Maybe the fire demon has discovered danger. Master, do you want to retreat? The gigantic winged fire demon ran so fast that it covered dozens of meters with a single stride. Qin Fan did not hesitate at all. He immediately picked up the Rainbow Devil Storm Spear and chased after the fire demon. Since he had subdued the fire demon, he would treat it like family. How could he let the fire demon's only son fall into danger? Master, be careful. Let us scout out the situation first. Just as Qin Fan stepped on the whirlwind golden wheel and flew away, Golden Fur Lion King and Duanyu immediately rushed in front of him. The 3 of them were extremely fast and quickly caught up with the gigantic winged fire demon. The fire demon did not continue to run wildly. It stopped at a plain valley and roared as it fought. When the 3 of them arrived, they were shocked to see hundreds of dark blue wolves gathered at the bottom of the plain valley. Roar! Roar! The gigantic winged fire demon was already surrounded by dozens of ice wolves, but it did not run at all. It bravely attacked and roared at the sky. Little Pig immediately said, "Master, the fire demon said those are all rank 4 spiritual beasts. They're comparable to martial artists at LV7 Genuine Chi. It wants Master to run." Qin Fan was amazed. This immortal island was indeed unusual. Hundreds of rank 4 spiritual beasts had appeared on a random plain. Qin Feng's Flame Golden Eagle and Glacial Snow Mastiff had only broken through to rank 2 spiritual beasts. They were comparable to martial cultivators at LV3 or 4 Genuine Chi. Now that Qin Fan had stepped into LV7 Genuine Chi, he was invincible against martial artists of the same realm. However, he was now facing hundreds of fierce spiritual beasts at LV7 Genuine Chi. Moreover, he had been injured by Sumo not long ago. It was impossible for him to fight against the ice wolves in the valley. Qin Fan could not, and neither could the gigantic winged fire demon. Although it was a rank 6 magical beast, it could not withstand the ice wolves' attacks. However, the giant winged fire demon didn't retreat. It used its mountainous body to block the incoming ice wolves, not allowing any ice wolves to escape from its back. Master, you go first. We'll go help the fire demon. Duan Yu and Golden Fur Lion King couldn't watch any longer. Duan Yu was trying to persuade Qin Feng, but Golden Fur Lion King had a fiery temper. The Dragon Slayer saber chopped down from the sky, and suddenly, a golden saber chi that was several hundred meters long fell into the valley, and a crack as thick as an arm appeared on the grass. The three ice wolves didn't have time to dodge, and directly exploded under the surging saber chi. Roar! The Golden Fur Lion King's blade completely enraged the pack of ice wolves. Immediately, more than 20 ice wolves charged at the Lion King. Those ice wolves had strong physiques, and their limbs were extremely developed. They could easily leap dozens of meters in an instant. More than a dozen ice wolves leaped into the air. They opened their mouths wide to reveal their white fangs. Hundreds of ice thorns fell from the sky, like a magnificent scene of 10,000 arrows falling. The Golden Fur Lion King's expression became grave. He immediately raised his blade and a golden light flashed, breaking through the ice rain. However, there were still dozens of ice thorns that fell, sending the Golden Fur Lion King flying. Roar! The moment the Lion King fell to the ground, the pack of ice wolves immediately pounced forward as if they had gone mad. They opened their bloody mouths, looking like they were going to swallow him alive. Seeing this, Duan Yu immediately flew over. Just as he was in the air, he pointed with 2 fingers. His fingers were so fast that they created wind. Instantly, sword rays shot out in all directions, as if thousands of light spots were shooting out. Bang, 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 bang. Those ice wolves were hit by the sword chi, but the scene of them being pierced by the sword rays did not happen. The ice wolf's fur was extremely hard. When the sword chi hit them, there was a muffled sound like a hammer hitting a wall. Although the power of the 6-pulse divine sword was unable to kill the pack of ice wolves, it forced the ice wolves that pounced at the Golden Fur Lion King to retreat. The Golden Fur Lion King immediately grabbed the Dragon Slayer saber and leaped down. The long saber chi exploded on the plains, and a few more ice wolves were blasted into pieces. The battle was extremely intense, but this was only the beginning of the huge battle. The hundreds of ice wolves suddenly stopped attacking, and raised their heads to the sky and howled. The originally quiet plains trembled slightly. When Qin Feng and the other 2 looked around, their expressions changed drastically. Dust flew in the distance, and hundreds of ice wolves rushed over. Not good, master. There must be a wolf's den nearby. I'm afraid you've stepped into the ice wolf's territory. If you don't run now, it'll be too late. Little Pig's voice was extremely anxious. Qin Feng also felt a strong sense of danger without needing it to say anything. However, at this moment, the system's notification sounded in his mind. Ding! The Hedonist sovereign system has issued a quest. Subdue the 10 great savage beasts. There is no time limit for the quest. For every savage beast subdued, the reward is 100,000 sovereign points. The rest of the rewards are yet to be determined. Ding! Congratulations, host Qin Feng, for successfully subduing the giant winged fire demon. The system rewards host 100,000 sovereign points. The host's total sovereign points, 169,000 sovereign points. Qin Feng was stunned. When he regained his senses, he hurriedly asked, Little Pig, what are the 10 great savage beasts in this quest? Little Pig quickly replied, The 10 great savage beasts don't specifically refer to any 10 beasts. As long as they meet the system's criteria, it's fine. However, the higher the level of the savage beast master subdued, the more abundant the rewards will be. Qin Feng understood and continued to ask, Have the poisonous Scorpion King and these ice wolves been determined as savage beasts by the system? The poisonous Scorpion King is a savage beast. These ice wolves don't count. Qin Feng was a bit depressed. He had planned on subduing an ice wolf to complete the quest. Now, there were more and more ice wolves gathered, increasing from 100 to more than 300. The giant winged fire demon couldn't hold on anymore. Its roars became more and more desperate, but the intensity of its voice became weaker. Duan Yu and Golden Fur Lion King also began to fight a bloody battle. If the 2 of them hadn't recently stepped into True Chi Stage 7, they would have long been torn to shreds by this group of crazy ice wolves. They were all fighting to buy time for Qin Feng to escape. However, when Qin Feng saw this scene, he was already burning with rage. Rumble. He leaped into the air and stabbed the long spear in his hand towards the ground. Instantly, thousands of spear lights rained down and blasted dozens of ice wolves into pieces. Golden Fur Lion King and Duan Yu had already been recalled into the system. Qin Feng couldn't recall the giant winged fire demon, so he let Little Pig order it to leave. At first, the fire demon roared and refused to leave. However, under Qin Feng's strict orders, it dejectedly ran back to the area where the fire demon tree was. Along the way, the ice wolves chased after the fire demon while Qin Feng rode the golden whirlwind wheel. These ice wolves were extremely fierce on the plains, but they couldn't fight in the air. They desperately jumped up and tried to catch Qin Feng, but they couldn't even reach the soles of his shoes. Roar, roar! The ice wolves roared angrily into the sky. Their oily green eyes turned blood red. Qin Feng waved his hand and a purple heavenly eagle bow appeared in his hand. The longbow's design was domineering. It didn't have a bowstring, but he pulled the longbow in the air. The moment he let go, 3 huge beautiful heavenly eagles swooped down and exploded in the midst of the ice wolves. Rumble! The heavenly eagles kept falling like angry birds. The ice wolves were numerous and densely distributed. Every time the heavenly eagles landed, they would explode. Although they couldn't kill the ice wolves, they left some wounds on their bodies. After chasing for a while, some ice wolves started to retreat. No one could last long in such a situation where they could only take a beating. More and more ice wolves retreated. In the end, the entire pack of ice wolves fled back to their land. Qin Feng and the fire demon finally stopped. At this moment, they were less than 5 kilometers away from the base of the fire demon tree. If the pack of ice wolves really charged into the main city, it would be a battle to the death. Qin Feng suddenly realized a very serious problem. Although the area around the fire demon tree was his territory, it would also be attacked by other forces. He had to strengthen the defense of the main city as soon as possible. Otherwise, if other forces discovered this place, he would have to occupy it. Now, with the ice wolves in front and Suemo behind, Qin Feng felt that he was being forced into a desperate situation. However, he was still unwilling to give up. He rushed toward the fairy fog area in the opposite direction of the ice wolf's base. As he stepped in, the surrounding fairy fog quickly dissipated. The environment of this area changed slightly. After walking through a plain, a dense forest appeared in front of him. The giant winged fire demon followed Qin Feng all the way. As a rank 6 magical beast, it was much more sensitive to hidden dangers around it than Qin Feng. Until now, the fire demon had not roared or issued a warning, which meant that there was no danger nearby. After hesitating for a while, Qin Feng gritted his teeth and entered the forest. The environment here was similar to Devil Beast Mountain, but the spiritual qi here was 10 times denser. As Qin Feng walked in the forest, the dense spiritual qi automatically entered his body. After a while, he felt that his internal injuries had automatically healed. Master, this is a forest rich in resources. There must be many spiritual herbs and spiritual plants here. It's because these plants have healing effects. When Master breathes in the aura of the herbs in the air, his internal injuries will automatically heal. Little Pig hurriedly explained. His voice was filled with surprise. Master had finally found a good place. Qin Feng was also a little excited. He sped up and rushed into the forest. However, he remained vigilant at all times. The more spiritual herbs and spiritual plants were in a forest like this, the more ferocious beasts would appear. After walking for an unknown period of time, the emerald spiritual ring on Qin Feng's hand suddenly shone brightly. This spiritual ring not only had the storage function of a space ring, but it could also sense the existence of treasures. However, since Qin Feng had obtained the emerald spiritual ring, it had only reacted when he met Ao Shaowan during the money laundering mission in Hong Kong. He did not expect it to suddenly react again. Wow, Master, you're going to be rich. There's a fruit of embryonic spirit in front of you. As soon as the spiritual ring reacted, Little Pig's excited voice sounded in Qin Feng's mind. Although Qin Feng had not seen the treasure and did not know what the fruit of embryonic spirit was, he could guess from Little Pig's reaction that it must be an incredible treasure. Chapter 1453. The fruit grew at the top of the tree's densest branches and leaves. If one didn't look carefully, they wouldn't be able to see it. The fruit was as large as a watermelon, but it had a fiery red skin. There were also many barbs growing on the skin which gave people chills just by looking at it. Qin Feng leaped to the top of the tree. Just as he was about to pluck the fruit, he heard Little Pig's anxious voice in his mind. Master, the fruit of embryonic vitality grows on the tree. The vines are connected to the spiritual energy in the tree. If you pluck it directly from the tree, the fruit will immediately wither and the spiritual energy inside will dissipate. Qin Feng stopped in time and almost plucked the fruit of embryonic origin. He realized that this thing was similar to the spirit spring he had found in the depths of Devil Beast Mountain. They were both dependent on the spirit source. If they were separated from the spirit source, these treasures would lose their great value. This put Qin Feng in a difficult position. The fruit of embryonic origin was right in front of him, but he couldn't pluck it. There were sharp barbs on the outside of the fruit, so he couldn't just eat the entire fruit with its vines, right? Qin Feng looked at the size of the fruit, then thought about the size of his mouth. This was completely unrealistic. Little Pig could read his thoughts, and was about to be amused to death by Qin Feng's thoughts. Master? Who said you could eat it directly? This origin embryo fruit is the main ingredient for refining the origin embryo pill. The origin embryo pill is a pill that true Qi realm experts need to step into the immortal Qi realm. Master can directly refine the fruit of embryonic origin on the tree and use it to form the essence foundation pill. Qin Feng was stupefied. An essential ingredient for breaking through from the Jinqi realm to the immortal Qi realm? If that was the case, then the fruit of embryonic origin was extremely precious. If he really refined it and consumed it, then wouldn't he be able to ascend to a higher realm? Thinking of this, Qin Feng did not want to delay any longer. He immediately shot out the destructive fire and was about to refine pills on the tree. However, before he could sit properly, he suddenly felt the tree beneath him shake violently. An angry roar came from the bottom of his feet. Qin Feng looked down and was so shocked that he almost fell off the tree. Roar! Under the tree stood a giant bear covered in brown fur. The big brown bear was slapping the tree, and every time its paw landed, it felt like the tree was going to collapse. The gigantic winged fire demon had already charged forward, opening its mouth and shooting out a ball of fire. The brown bear did not dodge at all and let the flames burn its body. The fire demon's flames were comparable to Qin Feng's destructive flames, but they didn't seem to have any effect on the brown bear. Roar! Seeing that its flame attack had failed, the giant winged fire demon charged over. The big brown bear finally stopped beating the tree. Its huge bell-like eyes were bloodshot as it roared and charged at the fire demon. The two beasts were about 5 to 6 meters tall. When they collided, it was as if two speeding trains had crashed into each other. The ground around them cracked open, and a row of giant trees fell. However, the strange thing was that the tree that bore the fruit of embryonic origin was still standing. Qin Feng was shocked by the brown bear's ferocity. The giant winged fire demon was considered one of the top magical beasts in the divine land. He didn't expect that on this immortal island, a random giant beast would dare to fight with it. Not long ago, Fire Demon was besieged by a pack of wolves. Now that it was being attacked by the brown bear, it was extremely depressed. Master, Fire Demon can still hold on for a while. Hurry up and refine the fruit of embryonic vitality. Little Pig's anxious voice sounded. Qin Feng hurriedly returned to his senses and sat firmly on top of the tree. He realized that he was no match for the brown bear. Now he could only take advantage of the time that the fire demon was buying to refine the fruit of embryonic essence and quickly leave this place. Golden Fur Lion King and Duan Yu were released to help the fire demon stall the brown bear. The brown bear seemed to be guarding the fruit of embryonic essence. No matter how the fire demon and the others tried to lure it, the brown bear wouldn't leave the tree that bore the fruit of embryonic essence. Loud noises kept coming from under the tree, as if bolts of lightning were striking down. However, Qin Feng was completely focused on refining the fruit of embryonic essence. He didn't pay any attention to the situation below. According to Little Pig, this pill of embryonic essence was an 8th-grade immortal pill. The refining process was extremely complicated. Fortunately, Qin Feng had become a 6th-grade golden pill master a long time ago. In addition, his realm had skyrocketed, so he could just barely refine this 8th-grade immortal pill. Qin Feng's left hand held the destructive fire, and his right hand shot the extreme ice. The fruit of embryonic essence was instantly surrounded by fire and ice. It was caught in a world of ice and fire. Qin Feng's destructive fire was at the level of the 10,000 beast true fire. Ordinary objects would be turned into ashes if they came into contact with it. However, the fruit of embryonic essence wasn't burned at all in the raging fire. It was as if it was enjoying the roasting of the flames. The extreme ice only froze the surface of the fruit of embryonic essence. As for the turbulent spiritual energy within the fruit, it flowed even faster. Roar, roar! The huge brown bear seemed to realize that the fruit of embryonic essence had changed. It suddenly stopped its fierce battle with the fire demon and rushed ferociously towards the tree. Its eyes were bloodshot. It opened its mouth wide to reveal a mouthful of fangs. Every time its feet touched the ground, Qin Feng jumped up from the shock. Rumble! After running for a while, the brown bear headbutted into the thick tree trunk. Qin Feng was sent flying. However, he stepped on a pair of golden wheels and hovered in the air, continuing to refine the fruit of embryonic essence. The brown bear raised its head and roared at Qin Feng. Its roar was like an avalanche. Qin Feng didn't pay any attention to it. Instead, he sped up the refining process. Roar, roar! The giant winged fire demon realized that its master was doing something very important. It hurriedly rushed over to trap the brown bear. Golden Fur Lion King and Duan Yu also flew through the forest. The two of them didn't dare to get close to the brown bear. They only helped the giant winged fire demon from afar. The two huge beasts fought fiercely. The brown bear was clearly stronger than the fire demon. After a series of collisions, the fire demon's roar became weaker. Even its movement speed slowed down. It looked like it was about to fall. Seeing this, the brown bear suddenly roared. It swung its huge arm and slapped the fire demon. This slap was like a speeding train, sending the fire demon flying. The moment it landed, the entire forest shook. The fire demon couldn't get up after falling to the ground. Blood flowed like a river under its body. Seeing that the brown bear was going to rush towards Qin Feng again, Golden Fur Lion King and Duan Yu didn't care too much. They immediately flew over. Rumble! The golden long saber had already fallen. The surging saber chi split the ground. However, the brown bear didn't dodge at all. It used its body to block the saber chi. It casually slapped the Golden Fur Lion King, who was in midair, and sent it flying hundreds of meters away. Duan Yu's 6-pulse divine sword followed closely. The sky was densely covered like a rain of swords. When the sword chi landed on the ground or the trees, it immediately left a sword mark. However, the brown bear still didn't dodge. His brown fur was extremely hard. There wasn't even a single wound on it. Rumble! Slapped again. Duan Yu couldn't dodge in time and was also sent flying. Seeing that the two heroes and the fire demon were injured, the brown bear had already rushed to Qin Feng's feet. However, there was a loud explosion in midair. A violent airflow rippled out with Qin Feng as the center. The fruit of embryonic essence on the tree glowed red. The outer shell of the fruit had already cracked, and a fiery red pill floated out. Roar! Sensing that the fruit of embryonic essence was gone, the brown bear roared in anger. Qin Feng put away the fruit of embryonic essence and quickly rose higher into the sky. He sat cross-legged on the flying sword and swallowed the fruit of embryonic essence to start cultivating. On the ground, the brown bear rampaged around Qin Feng's feet. Its expression was ferocious, and its brown skin had turned blood red. However, it could only watch helplessly as Qin Feng cultivated and broke through in the sky. There was no way for it to kill him. The fruit of embryonic essence melted in his mouth. The turbulent spiritual energy seemed to be endless. It surged through Qin Feng's body like a raging sea. He felt his tendons and veins break through and become thicker. His bones and blood vessels also became stronger and purer under the cleansing of the spiritual energy. Qin Feng unceasingly refined and stored the spirit qi in his body in his dantian. Very soon, his dantian swelled up and exploded with a loud sound. Qin Feng had a pleasant feeling as if a heavy burden had been lifted from his shoulders. He knew that this was the barrier of breaking through the 8th level of true qi. There was still a lot of spiritual energy from the fruit of embryonic essence. He quickly steadied his mind and continued to refine the spiritual energy. As time passed, Qin Feng's originally empty dantian became full again. A muffled sound exploded in his body. These 2 consecutive breakthroughs seemed to be completed in one go. He didn't encounter any obstacles. Whew! Qin Feng let out a long breath. When he broke through for the 2nd time, the spiritual energy from the fruit of embryonic essence finally calmed down. The aura on his body underwent a huge change. It was as if he was an immortal who had descended to the mortal world. When he opened his eyes, they were like stars twinkling in the night sky. Master, congratulations on breaking through to the early stage of the 9th stage of true qi. Little Pig's pleasantly surprised voice sounded. Qin Feng felt the true qi in his body. It was many times stronger than when he was at the 7th stage of true qi. He quickly calmed down and asked Little Pig, "The 9th stage of true qi is also divided into the early stage, middle stage, late stage, and peak stage?" Little Pig said, "Yes, Master. The difference in strength between the 4 minor realms of the 9 stages of true qi is enormous, because breaking through each stage requires a fortuitous encounter. Many martial artists are stuck at one stage for decades and are unable to break through. Their strength is much stronger than martial artists who have just broken through this stage." After Little Pig's explanation, Qin Feng understood. The 4 stages of the 9th stage of true qi were similar to the 4 stages of the 9th stage of inner qi. Breaking through each stage was even more difficult than breaking through from the 8th stage of true qi to the 9th stage of true qi. Roar, roar! Waves of angry roars came from the ground. Only then did Qin Feng realize that the big brown bear was still under the ground and hadn't left. At this moment, it was in a state of madness and was charging around like a madman. The towering trees in the surroundings were knocked over by it, and a few wild beasts were unfortunately trampled to death. Golden Fur Lion King and Duan Yu hid in the forest far away and were healing. The giant winged fire demon also sat to the side and didn't dare to rashly attack the brown bear. Now that Qin Feng had broken through 2 stages in a row and stepped into the 9th stage of true qi, he wanted to find a strong opponent to train with. The big brown bear before him was just what he wanted. Swoosh! A gust of wind suddenly rose. Qin Feng turned into a black shadow and instantly appeared behind the big brown bear. The brown bear's perception was very strong. It immediately turned around and struck out with its paw. Chapter 1454. Boom! With no time to think, Qin Feng's saber fell to the ground. After breaking through to the 9th stage of true qi, the instant he swung the golden phoenix, the saber qi was like a dragon falling to the ground. A violent explosion sounded in the air. Qin Feng hurriedly stepped on the golden phoenix and left. The brown bear chased after him. It didn't react much to the golden phoenix's attack. "Little Pig, what kind of monster is this? It's a bit too strong." Qin Feng couldn't help but complain. "Master, this is a 7th stage magical beast, the blood fiend brown bear. It belongs to the berserk attribute. After the berserk magic core in its body explodes, its strength increases greatly and its stamina is endless. However, when the berserk magic core's energy is used up, it will be in an extremely weak state." Qin Feng thought of the berserk black demon bear he hunted in Devil Beast Mountain. That magical beast also had the berserk attribute. Qin Feng still had its berserk magic core in his body. After activating it, he could also enter a berserk state. However, Qin Feng wouldn't activate the berserk magic core to fight the blood fiend brown bear. He felt that with his small body, he could be crushed to death by the big brown bear's toes. Fortunately, this brown bear couldn't fly. Qin Feng stepped on the golden wheel and slashed at it from the sky. No matter how strong the brown bear's defense was, it couldn't block the continuous attacks of Saber Qi. Master, the blood fiend brown bear's stamina is almost exhausted. Soon it will be in its weakest state. Master can take the opportunity to tame it. This beast has been determined by the system to be one of the top 10 vicious beasts in the mission, Little Pig said. Qin Feng was overjoyed. Not long ago, he was in a desperate situation. Now, he broke through to the 9th stage of True Qi and was about to tame a 7th stage magical beast. Just thinking about it was enough to make him excited. After fighting with the blood fiend brown bear for a while longer, the brown bear could no longer withstand the blows. Its burly body fell straight to the ground, creating a huge commotion like a falling meteorite. Dust flew everywhere. Qin Feng leaped through the dust and arrived above the brown bear's head in a breath's time. His mind moved slightly, and a strange energy wave suddenly rippled around him. When Qin Feng tamed the giant winged fire demon, he bought elementary mental strength potions from the system. Now, his mental strength was incomparably strong, and he had stepped into the imperial stage of Spirit Beast Master. Qin Feng quickly captured the blood fiend brown bear's consciousness. At this moment, the brown bear was indeed extremely weak. His consciousness didn't have much room to struggle and was completely controlled by Qin Feng. The process of taming the crimson brown bear was not difficult. After a short 10 minutes, the crimson brown bear's expression changed dramatically. When it saw Qin Feng, it roared excitedly as if it had seen its father. Master, you've successfully tamed the blood fiend brown bear, Little Pig shouted excitedly. At the same time, the system's notification sounded in Qin Feng's mind. Ding! Congratulations, host Qin Feng, for taming one of the 10 great savage beasts, the blood fiend brown bear. The system rewards host Qin Feng 100,000 hedonist points and a cloud-piercing arrow. Host points, 269,000. Qin Feng was excited and immediately looked at the cloud-piercing arrow rewarded by the system. This was a slender and delicate arrow. The body of the arrow emitted a holy radiance, and the arrowhead emitted a faint purple light. At the end of the arrow was a pair of holy wings. Master, the cloud-piercing arrow is a legendary holy item. It was born from the same origin as the arrow that our descendants used to shoot the sun. One arrow pierces through the clouds and can destroy all things. Little Pig explained. How could Qin Feng suppress his excitement? He immediately took out the heavenly eagle bow, placed the cloud-piercing arrow on the heavenly eagle bow, and pulled the bowstring. Boom! A loud explosion sounded like heavenly thunder falling to the ground. The cloud-piercing arrow shot out like a meteor, piercing through the sky and dispersing the clouds to reveal the sun. Qin Feng stared at the sky, which seemed to have been pierced through. He suddenly shouted, "Holy shit! Doesn't that mean the cloud-piercing arrow is gone?" Little Pig was amused by his expression. It smiled and said, "Don't worry, Master. The cloud-piercing arrow recognizes its master. It has already fused with Master's consciousness. As long as Master uses his consciousness to summon it back, it will find Master on its own." Qin Feng's heart was in turmoil. This was indeed a holy item. It actually had a spirit. He couldn't help but wonder, if the piercing cloud arrow were to hit someone, would it be like Hou Yi's ultimate move and freeze the enemy? The blood fiend brown bear had been subdued, and Qin Feng had broken through to the early stage of True Qi Stage 9. He led the team back to the main city. "Qin Feng, are you guys okay?" Choya was burning with anxiety as she waited in the main city. The moment she saw Qin Feng return, she immediately flew into his arms. Ouyang Feng and Shimin Chueshue were also anxious. However, as soon as the two heroes arrived, their expressions immediately changed. They charged at the blood fiend brown bear and got into an offensive stance. "Master, be careful." The corner of Qin Feng's mouth twitched. He hurriedly stopped the two of them. "Don't do anything rash. This little guy is a little baby that I just subdued." Ouyang Feng and Shimin Chueshue hurriedly stopped their attacks. Choya was stunned on the spot. She looked up at the huge blood fiend brown bear. Just standing in front of the brown bear made her feel pressured. In the end, Qin Feng subdued this big guy? He even called it a little baby. Roar, roar. The blood-fiend brown bear didn't care about Xiaoya and the others. It suddenly ran towards the fire demon tree like a madman. The blockhead crashed into the fire demon tree, causing the fire demon fruits to fall like rain. The giant winged fire demon was so angry that it roared continuously. Qin Feng was also confused by this guy's behavior. He wondered if the blood-fiend brown bear was retarded. If that was the case, Qin Feng planned to send it back. Master, the blood-fiend brown bear is a violent magical beast. The fire demon fruits are of the fire property. They are filled with fire spiritual qi and are very helpful for the brown bear's cultivation, Little Pig hurriedly explained. Qin Feng finally understood and ordered the giant winged fire demon not to fight the brown bear. On the other side, the blood-fiend brown bear excitedly devoured the fire demon fruits on the ground. The giant winged fire demon and a group of small fire beasts glared at it angrily. Qin Feng ignored the beasts and pulled Xiaoya to sit on the grass. Qin Feng, what should we do now? Should we stay on Immortal Island for a while? I'm afraid Suemo and the others haven't left yet. Xiaoya still didn't know that Qin Feng had broken through to LV9 genuine qi. She also didn't know how powerful the blood-fiend brown bear that Qin Feng had just tamed was. Qin Feng wasn't worried about Suemo. He needed to recuperate and stabilize his current realm. Then, he would take the initiative to kill Suemo and the others. Qin Feng called Xiaoya because of Su Ruoro and Thousand Illusion Child. He was curious why the three girls had gone missing. Xiaoya, where's Ruoro and Thousand Illusion Child? Didn't you all take the mission from the northern office of Fire Beacon Hall? Sumo's appearance had thrown Xiaoya's mind into chaos. For a moment, she had forgotten about Ruoro and Thousand Illusion. Now that Qin Feng mentioned it, Xiaoya said anxiously, Qin Feng, Ruoro and Thousand Illusion are probably dead. Qin Feng also knew that they were in danger. He asked anxiously, then tell me what happened. Why did you get separated? Xiaoya said quickly, the three of us rushed over when we heard that you went to Fire Beacon City. Then, we heard that you took a mission in Fire Beacon City and went to Fire Beast Battalion. We wanted to go there too. Then, the person who led us to the transporting formation was worse than a beast. He wanted to violate us. Ruoro threatened to kill herself, but Thousand Illusion and I stopped him. That disciple was also afraid, so he opened the formation for us. In the end, I was teleported to this poison scorpion slaughterhouse. I don't know where Ruoro and Thousand Illusion went. Qin Feng already knew some of what Xiaoya said. He gritted his teeth in anger when he thought of Gao Yang. Although that bastard was already dead, Qin Feng couldn't wait to revive him and kill him a few more times. After thinking about it, Qin Feng also realized the problem. It was most likely that Gao Yang had purposely teleported the three girls to different places. However, Qin Feng knew that the formation would only teleport the three girls to Poison Sun City, which made him feel more at ease. Now that he was in Poison Sun City, no matter where Ruoro and Thousand Illusion were teleported to, Qin Feng would find them. Qin Feng, what should we do now? What about Ruoro and Thousand Illusion? As Xiaoya spoke, tears welled up in her eyes. As one of the divine ninjas of Japan, she was not a weak woman. However, after spending these days with the girls, they had become as close as brothers. Xiaoya really did not want to hear that Ruoro and Thousand Illusion had been killed. Don't worry, we'll go out now to kill Suemo and the others, then look for Ruoro and Thousand Illusion. The genuine qi in Qin Feng's body had already stabilized. Without further ado, he stood up and was about to leave this immortal island. Xiaoya hurriedly followed him, but she said worriedly, Qin Feng, why don't we wait for those people to leave? They are too strong. I'm afraid you'll be at a disadvantage. Qin Feng understood Xiaoya's concern, but there was no time to explain. He asked Xiaoya to stay on the immortal island, and with a slight thought, he returned to the poison scorpion slaughterhouse. Rumble. As soon as he landed, Qin Feng heard a series of loud noises and the angry roar of the Scorpion King. Qin Feng had been on the immortal island for 2 hours, and he found that Suemo and the others had not taken down the Scorpion King yet. However, the battle was coming to an end. Under Sumo's leadership, the 6 of them formed a fierce sword formation. The Scorpion King was covered with wounds and looked like it could not hold on any longer. Oh no! Someone is coming! The 5 disciples sensed Qin Feng as soon as he landed. Su Mo turned into a gust of wind and appeared in front of Qin Feng. His long sword paused in mid-air, and he said with a sneer, "So it's you. I thought you were hiding out of fear. I didn't expect you to come here to die. I won't let you escape this time." Su Mo still did not take Qin Feng seriously. He did not notice Qin Feng's change at all. The long sword fell, and suddenly a huge sword radiance condensed in the void. Qin Feng stood still and leisurely raised his saber in mid-air. Rumble! The loud sound shook the battlefield. A golden saber radiance was like a dragon coming out of the sea. The saber chi was so dense that it almost materialized. When it collided with the long sword in mid-air, the whole sky shook. Rumble! The loud noises continued, and the sword chi and saber chi disappeared. Chapter 1455. Even the 5 disciples fighting the poisonous Scorpion King on the other side were stunned, and looked at Qin Feng blankly. 4 of them were at LV7 Genuine Qi, and the first senior brother was at LV8 Genuine Qi. However, they were well aware of Elder Sumo's realm, and they had never expected that Elder Su would be pushed back by that young boy. "First Elder, what do we do now?" The first senior brother and the other 4 had trapped the Scorpion King. Without Su Mo, the Scorpion King had gone berserk. Su Mo was so angry that he glared at Qin Feng and said, "Don't worry about me. Trap the Scorpion King and don't let it escape." Boom! The sword radiance rose again, like a divine weapon descending from the sky. Before, Qin Feng could not figure out Sumo's realm at all, and he could not even fight back. But now, Qin Feng could clearly see that Su Mo had also entered the early stage of LV9 Genuine Qi, while Qin Feng had only been at LV7 Genuine Qi. Naturally, he was no match for Su Mo. The sky sword fell to the ground, but Qin Feng stood on the ground without dodging. His hand pierced through the air. His action was so strange that even Su Mo was stunned. Qin Feng's hand was empty, but when he finished the stab, a blood-red long spear appeared out of thin air. With a loud bang, thousands of spear radiance surged into the sky and shattered the sky sword. Dozens of sword radiance even pierced through the sky and landed on Su Mo Puff. The sound of skin being cut was heard. Sumo's arms and thighs were cut several times, and blood immediately gushed out. He retreated quickly, ignoring the condition of his wounds. He stared at Qin Feng in disbelief, as if he had seen a ghost. "Elder Su, are you all right?" The first senior brother at LV8 Genuine Qi could not bear it anymore and immediately rushed over with 4 disciples. When the 5 disciples saw the injured Elder Su Mo, they were all dumbfounded. Su Mo felt like he had been slapped in the face, so he quickly said, "This is nothing. I underestimated my opponent, or else that boy would have died under my sword." The 5 disciples nodded. They believed that Elder Su Mo was telling the truth. After all, Sumo's strength was clear for all to see. He was an expert at the early stage of LV9 Genuine Qi realm, which was rare even in the entire Divine Land. "Elder Su, the Scorpion King won't be able to escape anytime soon. Why don't we join forces to kill this guy first?" the first senior brother asked. Su Mo was at a loss. He could not understand how Qin Feng had suddenly become so powerful. However, he believed that he would definitely be able to kill Qin Feng if he led his 5 disciples into a sword formation. "Good. Set up the sword array." With Sumo's roar, the 5 disciples suddenly flew away. They stood in different positions like the pattern of a star chart. Each of them held a long sword in their hands, and they swung it in the void, releasing surging sword chi, like the light of the stars. Seeing that the 5 of them had completed their sword formation, Su Mo immediately leaped up and hovered above their heads. He waved his long sword and the huge sky sword appeared again. The 5 disciples also waved their sword radiance and merged into the sky sword. The heavenly sword, which was already ferocious to begin with, became even larger. It seemed as though it was about to split the heavens and split the earth. Rumble. The heavenly sword landed on the ground, creating a crack in the ground. Qin Fun did not dare to face the combined attack of the 6 disciples, so he had already left on his whirlwind golden wheel. However, the sword qi was so powerful that just a trace of its aftershock was enough to send him flying to the ground. Suemo was pleasantly surprised and immediately stabbed his sword at Qin Fun. Rumble. The sword radiance blasted a huge pit in the ground, but Sumo's expression suddenly changed. He found that Qin Fun was no longer there. A gust of wind blew in the void, and Qin Fun came to the sword array of the 5 disciples on his whirlwind golden wheel. The 5 disciples did not hide when they saw Qin Fun. Instead, they revealed a playful expression. This guy is so ignorant. How dare he step into the center of our sword array? Kill him with your sword. The first senior brother shouted excitedly. However, before he could finish his words, thousands of spear radiance shot toward him like flying arrows. Before he could react, his body exploded on the ground. Rumble. The explosions continued, and the movements of the remaining 4 disciples abruptly slowed down. They looked at the scene in disbelief. That was the first senior brother at LV8 genuine Qi. How could he be killed by a single blow? Moreover, Qin Fun was standing in the center of their sword array. He completely ignored the existence of the surging sword qi in the sword array. As the spear fell, Qin Fun turned around and waved his spear again. Now that he had stepped into LV9 genuine qi, wore the celestial sovereign armor, and activated the property of the violent demonic core in his body, why should he be afraid of these guys at LV7 or 8 genuine qi? Swish! Swish! Suddenly, the spear radiance shot out like arrows, and the 2 disciples standing in the southwest instantly exploded. Qin Fun did not stop at all. With a wave of his hand, a golden saber radiance flew out. The golden saber, which was hundreds of meters long, cut the remaining 2 disciples in half at the waist. Rumble. Before the loud noise subsided, the 5 disciples of the Empyrean sect had already lost their lives. Qin Fun's attack was swift and violent, and he had completed all these moves in a single breath. Suemo was still in a daze. When he came to his senses, he found that all 5 disciples had been killed. Sumo's eyes almost fell to the ground. He could not understand how Qin Fun had changed so much in just 2 hours. Qin Fun had run for his life every time he saw him. The change happened too quickly, but Sumo's decision time was also very fast. He had already fled into the distance, no longer having the confidence to fight Qin Fun. How could Qin Fun let him go? With a slight thought, a huge creature fell to the ground. The blood fiend brown bear was excitedly devouring the fire fiend fruits on the immortal island. After suddenly landing in this new plane, it looked around in confusion. Little baby, kill him for me, Qin Fun ordered. The brown bear roared angrily and rushed toward Suemo. This time it was Sumo's turn to be confused. He was wondering where this raging bear had come from. Rumble. The bear had just eaten a lot of fire devil fruits, so there was a burst of violent fire spiritual qi in its body. As it ran, the sand shook. Suemo, who was running away, felt like he was stepping on a wave, and he staggered from side to side. Suemo had tried his best to escape, but the brown bear still caught up with him. The brown bear stomped on the ground and sent Suemo flying into the air. His thick arms swept out, and the air exploded. When it hit Suemo, it directly smashed him into pieces. Rumble. Qin Fung was shocked by the brown bear's power. The explosions continued without end, and he was shocked by the brown bear's power. The Scorpion King in the distance had already started to run away in fear. It had thought that this scorpion slaughterhouse was its territory. It did not expect that a more ferocious demonic beast would suddenly appear. Where did it come from? Brown bear, go and catch the Scorpion King. Qin Fun gave a new order, and the brown bear chased after the Scorpion King. For a moment, in this boundless desert, there were 2 giant beasts, one fleeing and the other chasing. It was really a very strange scene. The Scorpion King could not escape in the end. It was knocked out by the brown bear and dragged to Qin Fun's feet. Qin Fun finally saw the Scorpion King's appearance clearly, especially the poisonous stinger on its tail, which made his heart tremble. While the Scorpion King was unconscious, Qin Fan quickly subdued it. Although the Scorpion King was unconscious, it was still conscious and very weak, so Qin Fan quickly subdued it. Ding! Congratulations to host Qin Fan for successfully subduing the Scorpion King, one of the 10 great fierce beasts. The system rewards host Qin Fan 100,000 hedonist points. Host Qin Fan's total hedonist points, 369,000 hedonist points. Qin Fan found that the reward for subduing the Scorpion King and the giant winged fire demon was only 100,000 hedonist points, and the cloud-piercing arrow was extra for subduing the brown bear. This showed that the brown bear was more powerful than the other 2 fierce beasts. Qin Fan began to think that he should first subdue powerful fierce beasts so that the reward would be better. Qin Fan had turned the situation around. He had killed the 6 people from the Empyrean Terminus sect and subdued the Scorpion King. When everything had calmed down, Qin Fan returned to Immortal Island. When Qiuya and the others saw him return with the Scorpion King, they did not know what to say. You 3 little fellows, guard the main city well from now on. If there are enemies who dare not to invade, kill them for me. Qin Fan ordered the 3 fierce beasts. The 3 fierce demonic beasts nodded and roared at Qin Fan like obedient children. Their roars were full of excitement. With these 3 fierce beasts guarding the main city area of Immortal Island, Qin Fan felt more at ease. He brought Qiuya back to the Scorpion Slaughterhouse. The most important thing now was to find Su Ruoro and Thousand Illusion Child. When Qiuya returned to the sand, she still found it hard to believe. She could not figure out how Qin Fan had killed Su Mo and the others and subdued the Scorpion King. Qin Fan did not explain, so Qiuya did not ask. She suddenly said excitedly, Qin Fan, that Immortal Island is really a good place. I stayed there for a while and actually broke through to LV3 Genuine Qi. Before Qiuya came to the Divine Land, she had just stepped into LV1 Genuine Qi. She thought that was already the highest realm, and in the secular world of China, she would be a supreme existence. Now that she came to the Divine Land, she realized that LV1 Genuine Qi was just the beginning. She had been here for less than 2 months and had actually broken through to LV3 Genuine Qi. Then go to Immortal Island to cultivate when you have nothing to do and strive to break through to a higher realm. Halfway through his words, Qin Fan suddenly remembered something. By the way, Qiuya, there are 2 formation entrances to Immortal Island. One is with me, and I can bring people in and out at any time. The other is in Immortal Sect. You can go to Immortal Island and then use the formation to go to Immortal Sect. Huayan, Little Demon, and the others are all there. Qiuya did not expect that they could be transported like this on Immortal Island. She somewhat missed Xiao Li and the others, but in the end, she stayed by Qin Fan's side. I won't go to Immortal Sect now. I want to find Ruoro and Thousand Illusion with you. Chapter 1456. Qin Feng realized that Ruoro and Chen Huan were not in the Poison Scorpion Slaughterhouse, so he left with Qiuya. The 2 of them didn't know where Ruoro and Chen Huan had been teleported to. They felt a bit hopeless in this scorching desert. Qin Feng, are we unable to find Ruoro and Chen Huan? I don't want anything to happen to them. Qiuya was filled with worry. She suddenly thought that it would be great if Qin Feng found Ruoro and Chen Huan instead of her. Qin Feng was also at a loss and felt incredibly frustrated. He took out the map of Poison Sun City and looked at it. The land of Poison Sun City was vast and boundless. Trying to find someone here was like finding a needle in a haystack. That's right. Why didn't I think of this earlier? Qin Feng's eyes suddenly flashed. His sudden action scared Qiuya. What is it, Qin Feng? Did you think of a way? Qiuya looked at him expectantly. The Fire Beacon Hall's North Teleportation Formation is a directional teleportation formation. It will only teleport you to somewhere near the mission location in Poison Sun City. Qin Feng explained. Qiuya was incredibly intelligent and quickly became excited. Does this mean that Ruoro and Chen Huan were teleported to somewhere near the mission locations in Poison Sun City? Qin Feng nodded. He was already looking at the mission locations on the map. There were quite a few mission locations in Poison Sun City. Poison Scorpion Slaughterhouse, Fire Beast Battalion, Sand Formation, Storm Origin. There were 13 mission locations in total. Qin Feng crossed out the Poison Scorpion Slaughterhouse and Fire Beast Battalion. He had searched both of them, but did not find Ruoro and Shenhuan. The remaining 11 mission locations were scattered throughout Poison Sun City. It would take a lot of time to find them one by one. Although the mission was difficult, Qin Feng would not give up. If he did not find Ruoro and Shenhuan Child, he would not leave Poison Sun City even if he died. After coming up with a new plan, Qin Feng carried Xiuya on Flaming Dragon Horse and galloped across the desert. They first arrived at the mission location closest to the Poison Scorpion Slaughterhouse. This was still a barren desert, and strong winds blew day and night. In front of him was a scene of yellow sand filling the sky, and visibility was no more than 10 meters. The disciples who came to the mission location were mainly to hunt wild camels. These camels had low attack power and were relatively easy to kill. Their fur was hard and wear-resistant, making it a good material for forging armor. Qin Feng wasn't interested in these wild camels. His only goal in coming here was to find Ruoro and Shenhuan. Seeing the harsh yellow sand and stormy environment, Qin Feng and Xiuya were slightly worried. They didn't want Shenhuan or Ruoro to be teleported to this quest location. Heroes, has anyone seen these two beautiful women appear here? Qin Feng's voice was extremely penetrating. Even in this sandstorm, it could be clearly heard by everyone. Many of the Holy Gate's disciples paused for a moment, and they looked at Qin Feng as though they were looking at an idiot. Then they returned to their work. Seeing this, Qin Feng leaped into the air, and the golden phoenix in his hand fell from the sky, creating a deep crack in the sand. Rumble! The continuous explosions drowned out the loud sounds of the gale. The crowd was stunned. They looked at Qin Feng again with a trace of fear in their eyes. I am Qiao Feng, a disciple of the Celestial Souls sect. I came here to look for two friends. They came here the day before yesterday, and they were dressed thinly. If any of you have seen these two women, you can tell me about them. I, Qiao Feng, will definitely reward you handsomely. Qin Feng's roar was like thunder, and everyone was shocked. Recently, the name of the Celestial Soul City and the Celestial Soul Sect had spread across the land. It was said that an ordinary disciple of the Celestial Soul Sect caused havoc in the Science and Technology Museum and even escaped from the joint pursuit of a group of Holy Gates. However, no one knew that this Qiao Feng before them was the legendary young hero. However, no one dared to slight Qin Feng anymore. Whether it was the reputation of the Celestial Soul Sect or the power displayed by Qin Feng everyone was stunned. Young hero Qiao, I came here for a quest the day before yesterday, but I didn't see the two women you mentioned, a disciple of Xing Shan said. Another few disciples whose clothes Qin Feng couldn't tell which sect they belonged to jumped out. Young hero Qiao, this sandstone array has strong winds all year round, and visibility is less than 10 meters. It's really difficult to find people here. I've already stayed in the sandstone array for a week, and I haven't seen any female disciples come here. Young hero Qiao, did you find the wrong place? The crowd expressed that they didn't see Ruoro or Thousand Illusions, and not even a single female disciple. Qin Feng had already bought a talisman of clairvoyance from the system. He looked around the endless yellow sand a few times, and indeed, he didn't see the two women. Qin Feng didn't stay any longer, and immediately rushed to the next quest location. When he left, he even gave the disciples who answered his questions 10 high-grade spirit stones each, and they were so happy that they couldn't close their mouths. As for the other disciples who didn't get any spirit stones, they were filled with envy and regret. If they had known this would happen, they would have stood up and said a few words. Qin Feng wasn't a fool with too much money. Now that he had more than 80,000 high-grade spirit stones, he didn't care about a few dozen spirit stones at all. By doing this, he was helping the Celestial Soul City and the Celestial Soul Sect gain fame. At the very least, the Sacred Sect disciples who were doing quests in the Sandstone Array had already firmly remembered the names of Qiao Feng and the Celestial Soul Sect. They flew all the way, and when Qin Feng and Xiuya arrived at the quest location of the Windstorm Origin, it was already late at night. The environment of the windstorm origin was even worse than the sandstone array. In the middle of the yellow sand and strong winds, they couldn't even open their eyes, and their visibility was less than 5 meters. Chiyo was already in despair. How could they find people in a place like this? Even Flaming Dragon Horse was a little lost, but Qin Feng was unimpeded after activating the Talisman of Clairvoyance. He led Flaming Dragon Horse forward all the way. In this extremely harsh environment, there were a lot fewer disciples who came to do quests. After some observation, Qin Feng found that there were almost no living things near the quest location of the windstorm origin. The disciples who came were all looking for some hidden spirit stones among the flying stones, and there were even disciples who specially came to this extremely harsh environment to seek opportunities to break through. Qin Feng shouted once again to express his intentions. Just like in the sandstone array, the first time he shouted, no one paid any attention to him. However, when his blade landed on the ground, those Sacred Gate disciples started to look at him with reverence. This was the rule of the divine land. Everything depended on one's fist. Whoever's fist was harder would be the boss. Originally, they thought that they would not find anything here, but they heard a disciple of Soul Saber say, "Young hero Qiao, I saw a woman nearby the day before yesterday. However, she was wearing a veil and I couldn't see her face clearly. I don't know if she is the friend you were looking for." Qin Feng and Xiao Ya's expressions changed, and their eyes shone with surprise. Qin Feng asked hurriedly, "Where did that woman go?" The disciple of Soul Saber pointed to the depths of the windstorm origin and said, "She seems to have gone inside. The deeper you go, the stronger the sandstorm and the stronger the sandstorm. I'm afraid that woman will be in danger if she goes there alone." Qin Feng and Xiao Ya were very anxious. After Qin Feng threw 100 top-grade spirit stones to the disciple of Soul Saber, he immediately rode Flaming Dragon Horse to the depths of the windstorm origin. The disciple of Soul Saber was stunned. Looking at the pile of spirit stones under his feet that were almost blown away by the strong wind, his eyes almost popped out of their sockets. He thought to himself, "Young hero Qiao is too damn generous." Not long after Qin Feng and Xiao Ya left, another group of 8 people arrived at the windstorm origin. The 8 people were all dressed in white robes, and the leader was a gray-haired old man in his early 50s. He jumped into the crowd, grabbed one of them casually, and asked, "Boy, did you see a young man come here?" He even brought this woman with him. The disciple who was grabbed thought of Qin Feng and Xiao Ya, but the gray-haired old man's attitude was too overbearing, which made the disciple feel dissatisfied. "Stinky old man, let go of me or I won't treat you well." Rumble! Before the disciple could finish his words, the old man casually punched him. Instantly, blood sprayed in the air, and the disciple exploded into pieces and disappeared in the yellow sand. The disciples of the other sects were stunned, and the atmosphere became strange. The gray-haired old man asked again, "Has anyone seen a man and a woman come here?" No one dared to ignore the gray-haired old man's question anymore. A disciple pointed to the depths of the windstorm origin with a trembling hand and said, They went inside. Let's go." The gray-haired old man ordered and took the lead to ride the black horse into the depths of the windstorm origin, and the 7 disciples immediately followed. The Sacred Gate disciples who were standing at the periphery of the windstorm origin were still in a daze, and their faces were blank. The sudden arrival of the 2 groups of people, one more powerful than the other, made everyone confused. "Fuck, I remember now, the gray-haired old man and the other 7 people are from the Empyrean Terminus sect." Suddenly, someone cried out in alarm. Following that, screams rose and fell one after another. Everyone recalled the clothes of the gray-haired old man and the other 7 people. Weren't those the clothes of the Empyrean Terminus sect, one of the 5 venerables of the Divine Continent? And those 8 people didn't come with good intentions. It seemed that the man and the woman were going to be out of luck. These Sacred Gate disciples weren't familiar with Qin Feng and Xiao Ya, so they just sympathized with them for a while and went back to their own business. "Qin Feng, is what that person said true or false? I have a feeling that something bad will happen if we go on like this." The 2 of them galloped and arrived at the depths of the windstorm origin. Qiuya started to worry when she felt the howling wind around them. Qin Feng also felt a strong pressure. The surrounding wind was too fierce, and even the speed of the flaming dragon horse slowed down. If it wasn't for Qin Feng using his true energy to protect the flaming dragon horse and Qiuya, everyone would have been blown into the sky by the wind. Ah! Qin Feng, there's someone in front. At this moment, Qiuya suddenly cried out. Qin Feng had also seen the black shadow flash through the yellow sand that filled the sky. He hurriedly increased his speed and chased after it on the flaming dragon horse. The speed of the black figure wasn't fast, and the flaming dragon horse was about to catch up to it. However, the black figure suddenly stopped and placed a long sword on its neck. Who are you people? Why are you chasing me? If you dare to take another step forward, I will die here. They didn't expect that the people from the Empyrean Terminus sect would come looking for them. Qiuya could not figure it out. How did the people from the Empyrean Terminus sect know that Qin Feng was the murderer when Suemo and the other 5 were killed by Qin Feng on the spot? When the poisonous Scorpion King appeared, many disciples who were on a mission in the poisonous Scorpion slaughterhouse rushed over to watch. He was afraid that one of them had leaked the secret to the Empyrean Terminus sect. After knowing the identity of the person who had come, Qin Feng knew that this battle was inevitable. With a slight thought, Qiuya and the 1,000 Illusion Child suddenly disappeared from where they were. They had already been sent into the Celestial Island. Eh? What kind of tricks are you playing? Where did you hide those 2 stinking bitches? The gray-haired old man quickly noticed something was wrong and suddenly attacked with his sword. This person was very fast. His figure was faintly discernible in the yellow sand. Even Qin Feng could not catch him. A huge sword radiance pierced through the sandstorm and slashed a crack in the dark sky. The environment inside the crack was clear. Boom! The loud noise even covered the whistling of the wind. Qin Feng raised his saber without thinking and immediately drew out a golden saber radiance. 2 violent auras met in midair, like 2 speeding trains colliding violently. The wind became even more turbulent, and it looked like the yellow sand was about to become a maze. Kid, give me your life. Seeing that Elder Su Yi had made a move, the 7 disciples swung their swords and rushed over. The formation of these 7 people was very particular. They always maintained a certain distance from each other. Looking down from the sky, it looked like a diagram of the stars. The 7 people were very fast. It looked like 7 swords descending from the heavenly mountain. However, Qin Feng looked indifferent. He had already experienced the sword formation of the Empyrean Terminus sect and thought it was nothing special. Boom! Before the 7 people surrounded him, Qin Feng jumped into the sword formation. The expressions of the 7 disciples turned cold. When they regained their senses, they revealed playful expressions and looked at Qin Feng as if they were looking at an idiot. This idiot came to die. Let's fulfill his wish. With this kind of strength and intelligence, it's hard to believe that Master Suemo and his 5 brothers would die in his hands. I heard that Master Suemo was leading the disciples to kill the poisonous Scorpion King. That kid must have sneaked up on them. The 7 people shouted as they attacked. However, before they could release their sword chi, a golden saber radiance slashed at them. They were so scared that they immediately jumped up. The 7 people were sent flying by the violent saber chi with a loud bang. They were experts at LV7 and LV8 genuine chi, but they could not even block Qin Feng's saber. Su Yi, who was standing to the side, was shocked. He finally realized Qin Feng's strength and realized that he had underestimated him. However, when Su Yi came to his senses, his expression was indifferent. He still did not take Qin Feng seriously. How dare you go against the Empyrean Terminus sect? You must be tired of living. Su Yi roared and charged at Qin Feng. His speed was much faster than before. Before Qin Feng could locate him, a gust of wind blew behind Qin Feng. Su Ye's palm landed and sent Qin Feng flying. When he fell to the ground, Qin Feng could not help but spit out a mouthful of blood. With this palm, he had completely figured out Su Ye's realm. This old man was 1 level higher than Suemo. He had already stepped into the middle stage of LV9 Genuine Qi. Qin Fun had just stepped into the early stage of LV9 Genuine Qi yesterday. If he used his full strength now, he could fight Su Yi to the death. However, he did not plan to fight head-on because it was too risky. Su Ye's figure had already caught up and his sword landed in midair. He did not give Qin Fun any chance to catch his breath. With this sword, he smiled proudly as if Qin Fun was going to die. However, the smile on his face suddenly froze. Su Ye's eyes widened in shock as he stared at the 3 gigantic beasts that had appeared on the empty ground. He thought to himself, "What the fuck is this?" Roar! The 3 beasts were released by Qin Fun at the same time. They stood on the sand and roared at the sky. The Scorpion King was the most excited because Poison Sun City was its hometown. Before the crowd could react, the Scorpion King leaped onto the ground and its huge body disappeared into the sand. Boom! A loud sound exploded in the distance. It was where the 7 disciples of the Empyrean sect were standing. The Scorpion King moved quickly under the sand and rushed to the side of the disciples. When it emerged from the ground, it gave the 7 disciples a fright. Before they could react, the Scorpion King's tail had already swept out with its poisonous stinger. A series of loud noises surged in all directions, and the row of 7 people were all knocked into the air. The Scorpion King roared at the sky and the poisonous stinger on its tail shot into the air like a sharp arrow. In an instant, it pierced through the hearts of 3 disciples. The 3 disciples at the 7th stage of True Qi realm died in an instant. The other 4 disciples were so frightened that they immediately tried to escape. However, at this moment, they heard another loud sound. The gigantic winged fire devil spread its wings and hovered above the 4 disciples' heads. Rumble! The fire devil opened its mouth wide and several fireballs fell from the sky. The 4 disciples were caught unprepared. Another 2 disciples at the 7th stage of True Qi realm died in the flames. The remaining 2 disciples at the 8th stage of True Qi realm were still running for their lives. They looked battered and exhausted. The situation changed in an instant, so Yi was dumbstruck by this scene. However, before he could react, a deafening roar sounded in his ears. The blood fiend brown bear swung its thick arm at him. "You evil creature! You're courting death!" Su Yi did not dodge. He slashed his sword at the blood fiend brown bear's arm. When the sword landed on the bear's arm, a loud sound of metal striking metal could be heard. The blood fiend brown bear roared in pain and retreated. Su Yi did not dare to resist the air blast in the air. He somersaulted and landed on the ground dozens of meters away. Rumble! The loud sounds continued for a while. When Su Yi turned his head, he discovered that the 7 disciples had already died at the hands of the 2 demonic beasts. He was instantly enraged. He flew towards the fire devil and the Scorpion King, landing between the 2 demonic beasts. Roar! The 2 demonic beasts attacked Su Yi at the same time. Their angry roars shook the heavens and earth. Su Ye's expression did not change much. He leaped towards the gigantic winged fire devil and swung his sword. Suddenly, an incomparably large heavenly sword fell from the sky. The fire devil roared crazily and raised its arms to block the sword. However, the moment the heavenly sword fell, the fire devil was forced to kneel on the ground. Rumble! At the same time, there was a loud explosion. The poisonous stinger on the Scorpion King's tail pierced through the air. It was about to pierce through Su Ye's head. Su Yen retreated quickly. He grasped the distance between him and the Scorpion King's tail. When he was past this distance, Su Yi stabbed his sword and cut off the Scorpion King's tail. Roar! The 2 demonic beasts howled in pain. The blood fiend brown bear's skin suddenly turned red. Its eyes also turned blood red. It rushed towards Su Yi like a madman. Su Yi hurriedly brandished his sword. Several heavenly swords fell from the sky and smashed into the brown bear's body. However, they were unable to stop it. Bang! When the blood fiend brown bear collided with Su Yi, it was like a speeding train colliding. With a loud bang, Su Ye's body flew into the sky like a kite with a broken string. The blood fiend brown bear roared at the sky. However, it could not chase after Su Yi and fight him in the sky. Suddenly, 2 balls of fire flashed in the sky. Qin Feng stepped on his golden wheel and arrived in front of Su Yi. The rainbow demon storm spear in his hand pierced through the air. Stab, stab, stab. In an instant, thousands of spear lights shot out like arrows. Su Yi, who was in midair, could not move at all. He could only watch helplessly as the red lights shot towards him. However, he was not that easy to kill. He brandished the sword in his hand. 3 heavenly swords fell and blocked the spear lights. Chapter 1458. Loud noises resounded in the sky as sword chi and spear chi exploded violently. Even Qin Feng was shocked by Su Ye's strength. The difference between early stage and middle stage true chi stage 9 was not small. He hurriedly stabbed with his spear again. Spear chi filled the sky and shot towards Su Yi like thousands of arrows. Panic flashed in Su Ye's eyes. When he attacked with his second heavenly sword, he was hit by several spear chi and fell to the ground. The 3 beasts were already waiting for him on the ground. They fought to take care of Su Yi. Finally, the poisonous Scorpion King took a hit and swung its tail, knocking Su Yi back into the air. Rumble! Qin Feng was already prepared. He attacked with his spear again. Spear chi flew everywhere, scaring Su Yi into flailing his arms and legs. However, he found himself in the air and could not escape. Helpless, Su Yi could only use his sword to block. However, he could not even find his center of gravity. The power of his sword chi was greatly reduced. His body was knocked to the ground by the spear again. The scene repeated several times. Before Su Yi landed, he was knocked into the air. Just as he reached the sky, he was knocked to the ground again. Under the fierce attacks of the beasts and Qin Feng's spear chi, even though he was a middle-stage true chi stage 9 expert, he could not endure it. Today, the Empyrean Terminus sect and I, Xiaofeng, have become enemies. When I am free, I will personally step into the Empyrean Terminus sect. You can go to hell in peace. Just as Qin Feng shouted, a golden sword chi that was hundreds of meters long flashed in the sky. Su Yi was heavily injured and could no longer block Qin Feng's fierce attacks. The sword chi cut him in half and his body exploded in the sky. The fierce battle ended. Qin Feng panted heavily after he landed. Even with the help of the 3 beasts, killing Su Yi was not easy. Qin Feng suddenly thought of Qing Chun from the Thousand Shadows sect. He realized that Qing Chen's strength was comparable to Su Ye's. From the looks of it, that old woman had actually stepped into the middle stage of stage 9. No wonder he couldn't even fight back against her. Qin Feng, are you okay? Qin Feng had just returned to the Immortal Island with the 3 little fellows when Qiuye and Chen Huan rushed over anxiously. I'm fine. Those people from the Empyrean Terminus sect have been eliminated by me. We're safe now. Qin Feng explained the situation simply. The 2 women finally relaxed. Chen Huan had just reunited with Qin Feng and had been staring at him tenderly and ambiguously, causing Qin Feng to be afraid. Ruoro is the only one we haven't found. We have to hurry. Qin Feng got down to business. Chen Huan's expression changed as he regained his wits. What? Ruoro still hasn't been found? Qin Feng shook his head and said, That's right, Chen Huan. Is Ruoro not with you? After I teleported from the Fire Beacon Hall's formation to Poison Sun City, I discovered that I had already been separated from Qiuye and Ruoro. I suspect that there's something wrong with the Fire Beacon Hall disciple who teleported us. He purposely teleported us to different locations. Chen Huan Child was a disciple of Ice Lake Mountain, one of the 5 hegemons of China's inner hidden sects. She was more familiar with formations than other women, and she had her own discoveries. Qin Feng had thought of this a long time ago. He patted Chen Huan's shoulder and said, Don't worry. I've already killed the Fire Beacon Hall disciple who harmed you. I suspect that the 3 of you were teleported to somewhere near the mission area of Poison Sun City. Qiuye and I have already searched a few places, so let's continue searching. Qin Feng didn't waste any more time. The 2 women accompanied him to search for Su Ruoro. The 3 of them hurried through Poison Sun City day and night. After 3 days, they found another 6 mission areas, but they didn't find any traces of Su Ruoro. As they failed again and again, Qiuya and Chen Huanchild became more and more anxious. Qin Feng was even more anxious than the two women, but he still maintained a trace of rationality. Braving the scorching sun, Qin Feng hurried along while looking at the map of Poisoned Sun City. He marked densely packed red circles on the map. Currently, in this enormous Poisoned Sun City, there were only the blazing spring pond and the legendary heavenly fire that he had yet to search. Qin Feng decided to go to the blazing spring pond to take a look. He put away the map and looked at the boundless desert. He murmured in his heart, "Ruoro, where are you? You must wait for me to find you. You three, pay the fee before you go in." After traveling for a day and a night, the three of them arrived at the blazing spring pond in the morning of the second day. There was a large fence around the mission area. There was only one entrance, and there were 4 men in black robes standing guard at the entrance. Qin Feng didn't know which sect these people were from. "Is this the blazing spring pond?" Qin Feng asked. One of the disciples guarding the entrance said with a cold and arrogant expression, "That's right. This is the blazing spring pond. However, this place has long been occupied by Long Tsong. If you want to go in, you have to pay the fee first. Each person will pay 100 high-grade spirit stones." Qiuya and Chen Huanchild did not understand the sects in China at all. Qin Feng was shocked. Long Tsong was one of the 5 supreme sects in China. Since they were interested in the blazing spring pond area, it meant that there must be many treasures in it. 100 high-grade spirit stones was a very expensive expense for ordinary Sacred Gate disciples. However, Qin Feng did not lack spirit stones at the moment. Back then, he sold Star Technologies products in the Science and Technology Museum for over 80,000 high-grade spirit stones. Moreover, a piece of lousy stone on the Immortal Island was comparable to a medium-grade spirit stone. Qin Feng came to find Su Ruoro and did not want to offend Long Tsong. He had already offended the Thousand Shadow sect, the Empyrean Terminus sect, and the Wind Sun Palace of the 5 supreme sects, so he should keep a low profile. After handing over 300 upper-grade spirit stones, the disciples of the Tsong Dragon sect did not trouble the 3 of them anymore. The 3 of them walked into the territory of the blazing fire pool. Before they reached the core location of the mission, they already felt that something was wrong. "Qin Feng, the spiritual energy here is so rich." Chen Huan could not help but exclaim. However, she quickly calmed down. No matter how rich the spiritual energy in the blazing spring pond was, it could not be compared to the Immortal Island. Qiuya had stayed on the Immortal Island several times, so she was not surprised by the density of the spirit qi here. Qin Feng was also a little surprised. After all, the Immortal Island was a cultivation world, and there were not many places in China that had such dense spirit qi. The 3 of them sped up and quickly discovered the situation. There was a large open-air natural hot spring in the depths of the blazing spring pond, and the rich spiritual energy in the surroundings was flowing out from the heavenly spring. The natural hot springs were of different sizes, and every heavenly spring was occupied by someone. The small springs had 1 person soaking in it, and the larger springs had several people soaking in it. "Qin Feng, there are so many people here. Maybe Ruoro is really here." Qiuya's beautiful eyes suddenly lit up, and Chen Huanchild pulled herself together. Qin Feng's expression was solemn. If Su Ruoro was really teleported to the vicinity of the blazing spring pond, it would be troublesome. There were many Sacred Gate disciples here, and Ruoro was outstanding. Wouldn't she fall into a wolf pack? Qin Feng's heart burned with anxiety, and he quickly looked around. This open-air hot spring was very large, and the heavenly spring could accommodate hundreds of people soaking in it at the same time. Qin Feng did not see Ruoro, but he found that this place was not for quests. The Sacred Gate disciples were all soaking in the hot spring, trying to cultivate and break through. "Qin Feng, can I soak in that heavenly spring?" Chen Huanchild suddenly asked. Qiuya looked at a remote spring in the distance, and her eyes were filled with anticipation. Ever since the 2 women were teleported to Poisoned Sun City, they had not bathed for a few days. It was incomparably hot here during the day and night. The 2 women were covered in sweat and felt very uncomfortable. Qin Feng nodded, and the 2 women hurriedly went to the furthest hot spring. They knew that finding Ruoro was the most important thing right now, so they wanted to quickly wipe themselves and immediately return. Qin Feng was not in the mood to soak in the hot spring, and he continued to look around. After a while, there was a quarrel in the distance. "What do you want? We entered this hot spring first. Hurry up and leave." The voice was Qiu Ya's cold and angry rebuke. At this moment, she and Chen Huanchild were soaking in the heavenly spring naked, but 4 men ran over and made an unreasonable request for the 2 women to leave the heavenly spring. Fortunately, the heavenly spring was shrouded in mist, and they could not see what was happening under the water. Qiu and Chen Huanchild anxiously shrunk their bodies in the water, and only their heads were exposed. The 4 men were dressed in black and white, which was the uniform of the Gate of Life and Death. After seeing the appearance of the 2 women in the water, the 4 of them revealed evil smiles and actually started to take off their clothes. "Since the 2 junior sisters are not willing to leave, your senior brothers will accompany you to soak in the hot spring." Qiu and Chen Huan were so scared that their faces turned pale. They wanted to escape, but how could they go out naked? When they saw that the 4 men had taken off their outer clothes and started to take off their inner clothes, there was a sudden flash of fire. 2 of the disciples were instantly beheaded, and their bodies fell straight to the ground. "Ah!" Qiu and Chen Huanchild screamed in fear, and the other 2 Gate of Life and Death disciples even jumped up. One of them's legs were trembling, and the other stuttered, Who killed our 2 junior brothers from the Gate of Life and Death?" Qin Feng was already standing by the side of the hot spring. When Qiu and Chen Huanchild saw his back, which was as tall as a mountain, they immediately calmed down. "I killed them." Qin Feng's voice was even colder than his expression. The 2 from the Gate of Life and Death were afraid, but they still pretended to be calm. The eldest senior brother shouted, "Brat, we are disciples of the Gate of Life and Death. Do you believe that I won't ask the great elder of the Gate of Life and Death to kill you?" Qin Feng sneered in his heart. He had killed many Gate of Life and Death elders. He did not waste time talking to these ants. The moment he raised his hand, the 2 of them had already fallen to the ground. The air was filled with the smell of burnt blood, and many people who were soaking in the hot spring looked over. Chapter 1459. Just like before, the disciples looked at Qin Feng strangely. Some of them even looked at him as if he was an idiot. Qin Feng did not mind. He waved his hand and thousands of spirit stones landed at his feet, forming a small hill. The crowd was in an uproar. The hill of spirit stones shone brightly under the scorching sun like a gold mine in the desert. A few disciples could not resist the temptation and rushed out of the spring to snatch the spirit stones. However, they all died on the ground 50 meters away from Qin Feng. The atmosphere suddenly became silent. Everyone was shocked by Qin Feng's strength. Those who were about to rush up but did not have time to rush up stopped and rejoiced in their hearts. They were just a second away from losing their lives. Qin Feng killed more than 10 Holy Gate disciples with a wave of his hand. However, he did not even bother to look at them. He said calmly, "I am looking for a beautiful woman. She came here 7 days ago. If anyone can provide clues about her, I will give these 1,000 high-grade spirit stones to you for free." Qin Feng's words stunned the crowd. 1,000 high-grade spirit stones was not a small amount. Especially in the eyes of normal Holy Gate disciples, it was an amount that they could not collect in their entire lives. Everyone started to recall the people they saw a week ago. However, after a while, no one could provide any clues. After a while, a disciple said, "Young hero Qiao, I came to this blazing inferno spring from the legendary heavenly fire land a week ago. I did not see the woman you were talking about. However, when I left the legendary heavenly fire land, I saw a lone woman." Qin Feng's expression changed. He immediately asked, "What did she look like? How was she dressed?" The man replied, "She had an oval face, willowy eyebrows, starry eyes, and the temperament of a fairy. However, she was wearing a green shirt and her slender legs were exposed. It did not match her delicate and refined temperament." Qin Feng's expression changed again. He was sure that the woman this man was talking about was Su Ruoro. After knowing that Ruoro was in the legendary Heavenly Fire Land, Qin Feng wanted to rush over immediately. The man's words fell into Qiuya and Chen Huan's ears. The two women were almost done bathing and quickly put on their clothes. The spring they chose was in the corner. No one could see what was going on here. Qin Feng gave the 3-star mountain disciple 1,000 spirit stones and immediately left with the two girls. But before he could take 2 steps, a group of men dressed in black robes rushed over. "Kid, don't go yet." It was a group of Song Dragon disciples, and the one who shouted was one of the disciples who had been guarding the entrance of the Inferno Spring. Qin Feng's expression turned cold as he asked, "What is it?" There were a total of 8 disciples, and they surrounded Qin Feng and the others with cold expressions, as if they were afraid that the 3 of them would escape. The gatekeeper disciple said, "Hand over all your spirit stones and I can spare your lives." Qin Feng immediately understood that these people were after his spirit stones. The disciples who were soaking in the surrounding springs all looked over. Some of them had expressions of sympathy, while others were secretly gloating. Qin Feng had just taken out 1,000 spirit stones to inquire about the whereabouts of a woman. How heroic was this move? Now it had attracted the jealousy of the disciples of Song Dragon. "Let's see if you can still pretend in the future." "Heh, the 3 of us have already paid 300 spirit stones to come to the Inferno Spring. Why do we still have to pay more?" Qin Feng was indeed heroic, but there was a reason for it. If someone asked him to take out spirit stones for no reason, he wouldn't give them a single one. The 8 Song Dragon disciples were stunned and looked at Qin Feng as if they were looking at an idiot. The gatekeeper disciple was a little impatient and shouted with a cold expression, "Stinking brat, we are disciples of Song Dragon. If we want you to hand over your spirit stones, you should obediently obey. What's with all this nonsense?" Song Dragon was one of the 5 masters of the Divine Land. As disciples of Song Dragon, these people were used to being arrogant and overbearing. It was as if the Divine Land belonged to them and everyone in the Divine Land had to listen to their orders. Qin Feng was in a hurry to go to the legendary land of Heaven Fire to find Ruoro, so he didn't have the time to bicker with these people. He slapped his hand and a flame shot out. It was as fast as lightning. When the gatekeeper disciple's head flew off and his body fell to the ground, the other 7 people around him suddenly woke up. "Ah, junior brother Tsang Xiao, what's wrong? Say something." The disciple's head was gone, but this person still asked him to speak. "Someone killed junior brother Tsang Xiao? Who? Stand out if you have the guts." The 7 disciples suddenly emitted waves of coldness, and the surrounding people soaking in the hot spring immediately burst into an uproar. This was the raging Inferno Spring. How could a disciple of Song Dragon die here? No one would believe it even if they said it. The oldest middle-aged man among the 7 suddenly stood out and looked at Qin Feng like an arrow. "You killed Song Xiao? How dare you?" Qiuya and Chen Huan were anxious. The 2 women could see that the other party was powerful. However, they were standing beside Qin Feng, so they didn't see clearly that it was Qin Feng who attacked. "So what if I killed him? I'll give you one last chance to escape. If you don't scram, I'll kill you." Qin Feng's voice was cold, as if he was a demon from hell. The 7 disciples of Song Dragon were stunned. Everyone looked at him in disbelief. They didn't know where this person got his arrogance from. "How dare you challenge my dignity, Long Tsong? Kill him." The oldest middle-aged man roared and was the first to swing his fist at Qin Feng. The other 6 disciples came back to their senses and followed him. Qiuya and Chen Huan were ready for battle. The surrounding people who were watching the show had different expressions. Seeing that the battle was about to begin, a flame suddenly flew among the crowd. The 7 disciples of Song Dragon fell in a row before they could even get close to Qin Feng. The noisy environment suddenly became dead silent. The crowd soaking in the hot spring was dumbfounded. The air was filled with the stench of burnt blood. Qiuya and Chen Huan covered their noses and almost vomited. Qin Feng killed the 8 disciples of Song Dragon in one fell swoop and continued on his way as if nothing had happened. When the 3 of them galloped away on their horses, the disciples in the hot spring were still in a daze. Everyone looked at the empty space not far away. There were 8 people lying on the ground in a mess. These people died miserably. They didn't even have the time to scream before they died. The oldest among the 8 was a young elder of Tsong Dragon. He was an expert who had stepped into stage 8 of True Energy Realm. However, such an expert couldn't withstand a single move from Qin Feng. Qin Feng held the map and galloped. Qiu Ye and Qian Huan were still in a daze. They realized that Qin Feng's strength had increased again. He was no longer the Qin Feng from 3 months ago. It was said that the heavenly fire wasn't far from the raging inferno spring. After an afternoon of traveling, the 3 of them arrived at this area. After entering the land of heavenly fire, the 3 of them found many problems. There was no one at this mission point. Moreover, the surrounding temperature was hotter than the other areas of Poison Sun City. It was already night time, but the land of heavenly fire was still as bright as day. This made Qin Feng remember what Deacon Yi said. There were places in Poison Sun City where it was daytime and there was no night. This land of heavenly fire was most likely a place where it was daytime. Qiu Ye and Qian Huan had just entered the land of heavenly fire and were covered in sweat. The 2 women realized that their baths in the raging inferno spring were wasted. Qin Feng also felt uncomfortable from the heat. He wondered what would happen to Ruoro if she was really teleported here and stayed here for a week. Master, the system sensed Pikachu's aura. Little Pig's excited voice suddenly sounded. Qin Feng excitedly communicated telepathically. Where is it? Hurry and take me there. Master, Pikachu is a battle pet created by the system. As its master, you can also sense its existence, Little Pig reminded. Qin Feng was too worried about Ruoro and was flustered. He forced himself to calm down. A familiar feeling floated over from afar. Qin Feng, where are you going? Qiu Ye and Qian Huan child immediately chased after him. Qin Feng didn't even turn his head as he yelled, I found Ruoro. Let's hurry and go. The 3 of them were incredibly excited and sped up. Before they knew it, they had already charged into the depths of the land of heavenly fire. The temperature around them became higher and higher, and they felt as if their skin was about to be ignited. Qiu Ye and Qian Huan couldn't take it anymore. They slowed down because their bodies rubbed against each other as they ran, and they felt as if their bodies were being roasted. Qin Feng had an extreme ice demon core in his body. After activating the effects of the demon core, he was in a better condition. However, what shocked him was that the flames of the land of heavenly fire seemed to be even more powerful than extreme ice. Flaming Dragon Horse had already been recalled back into the system because its hooves were scorched. Qin Feng forced himself to continue running through the boundless desert. The soles of his shoes were worn out and blisters appeared on his feet. Qin Feng took off his clothes, and sweat poured down his body like rain. He didn't see a single disciple doing a mission the entire way. This was enough to show the cruel environment of the land of heavenly fire. Normal Holy Gate disciples would probably be roasted to a crisp if they came here, let alone doing a mission. After running for an unknown amount of time, Qin Feng's expression suddenly changed. Not far away, there was an unknown object lying in a pile of sand. That object was half buried in the sand, and some parts were exposed. Under the strong reflection of the sun, Qin Feng couldn't tell what it was. He hurriedly sped over. When he arrived, he found a woman lying on the ground. The woman seemed to have been unconscious for too long. Half of her body was submerged in the sand. When Qin Feng flipped the woman over, he immediately cried out in excitement. Ruoro? Hurry and wake up Ruoro. I'm Qin Feng. I'm here to save you. Qin Feng had already stepped into Poison Sun City for 8 days. During these 8 days, he didn't rest for even a moment. He continuously searched for the 3 women. Chapter 1460. Pai, 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 Pai. After carrying Su Ruoro out of the sand, Qin Feng discovered that Pikachu was lying in her arms. At this time, Pikachu's fur had turned black from the sun, and he looked exhausted and thirsty. He couldn't even finish his catchphrase. Qin Feng hurriedly took out a water bottle from the emerald spirit ring, poured half a cup of water, and placed it next to the Pikachu. The little guy crazily plunged its little head into the water. Qin Feng didn't pay attention to Pikachu. That little guy was a spirit beast and had an extremely tenacious life force. He hurriedly fetched some water to feed Su Ruoro, but found that Su Ruoro was unconscious and couldn't drink. Qin Feng drank a mouthful of water and slowly fed it to Ruoro's lips. As time passed, Qiuya and Chen Huan also rushed over. When the two women saw that Qin Feng had found Su Ruoro, their eyes brimmed with tears of excitement. Cough, cough. Su Ruoro, who was lying in Qin Feng's arms, suddenly coughed. She furrowed her brows and slowly opened her eyes. Qin Feng and the others looked at her excitedly. Su Ruoro's weak voice sounded, "Qin Feng? Qiuya? Thousand illusions? You're all here. Am I dead? You must be hallucinating." Qin Feng's heart ached as he hugged Su Ruoro tighter. He wiped the fine beads of sweat from her forehead. "Don't speak nonsense. You're my Qin Feng's woman. No one in this world can kill you." Qin Feng's voice lingered in her ears, and the familiar warmth of his body rippled in her nose. Su Ruoro's eyes suddenly widened as she stared fixedly at Qin Feng. She discovered that Qin Feng was not Qin Feng, but Qiao Feng. If she had really died, she would have seen Qin Feng in her hallucinations. But why was it Qiao Feng? "I'm not dead? Qin Feng, is that really you? I finally found you." Su Ruoro suddenly shed 2 streams of tears. She thought she would never see Qin Feng again. Qiuya and Chen Huan also couldn't help but cry. The 3 women's journey to find Qin Feng could be said to have been arduous and bumpy. Now that everyone was finally reunited, they shed tears of joy. Qin Feng wiped away the tears of the 3 women. Su Ruoro rested on the sand for a while and gradually recovered her strength. Qin Feng helped her up, and the 4 of them looked at each other and smiled. It was an indescribable smile of reunion after a long time. "Qin Feng, let's go back to Spirit Immortal City?" Qiuya suggested. She could not wait to go back and reunite with Hua Yan and the other girls. Chen Huan and Ruoro also had the same thoughts. Just as Qin Feng was about to bring the 3 women away from this scorching hot place, a massive explosion suddenly sounded out from under their feet. The sandy ground actually caved in, and the 4 of them fell into a gigantic pit. The 3 women were caught off guard and screamed in fear. Qin Feng's expression was incomparably grave. He looked down and saw a bottomless pit. He didn't know what was at the bottom of the pit. He tried to fly everyone out of the pit with his flying swords and golden wheels, but he found that there was a strong gravitational force in the black hole, which forcibly pulled them in. After falling for an unknown period of time, a ray of light finally shone from beneath his feet. Following the appearance of the light, everyone felt a wave of scorching air rising from the ground. If Qin Feng hadn't covered everyone with a layer of ice, Su Ruoro and the other 2 women would have been melted by this scorching heat. "Qin Feng, what's going on?" Qiuya asked anxiously. Qin Feng had yet to figure out the situation. At this moment, they finally landed on the ground. However, they discovered that it was not ground beneath their feet, but a sea of molten lava. Anything that fell into it instantly turned into ashes. The reason why the 4 of them were not melted was because Qin Feng used all his strength to activate his ice demon core and continuously created layers of ice to protect everyone. However, the heat coming from the molten lava was so intense that it continuously melted the layers of ice. Qin Feng only stood on the molten lava for half a minute, and his forehead was already covered in sweat. He even felt that the supply of true qi in his body was a little insufficient. He was now in the early stage of true qi stage 9, and his true qi was extremely abundant. From this, it could be seen how terrifying the underground molten lava was. "Master, hurry and enter Immortal Island, or else you guys will really die." Little Pig's anxious yell came. Qin Feng activated his thoughts without thinking. Swoosh! After a strange formation fluctuation, the scene in front of the 4 of them changed drastically. The scorching heat of being stripped naked and exposed to the scorching sun disappeared. The spring wind blew on Immortal Island, making everyone feel comfortable. Qiuya and Qian Huanchild had already been to Immortal Island, and now they let out a long sigh of relief. On the other hand, it was Su Ruoro's first time here, and she was stunned by the pleasant scenery before her. Just a second ago, she was in a hopeless situation in the molten lava, and this feeling was like she had transmigrated. Ruoro, don't worry. This is my secret base. We are temporarily safe. Qin Feng saw Su Ruoro's astonished expression and comforted her. Su Ruoro was still in a daze. She looked at the fire demon tree and the three giant beasts in disbelief. Qiuya and Qian Huan had already pulled her to the clear spring to prepare for a bath. Qin Feng sat under the fire demon tree, and his brows were tightly furrowed. This immortal island had a total of 3 formation entrances. One was in Qin Feng's mind, and it moved according to his movements. He placed one in the spiritual immortal gate, and there was another formation that Qin Feng did not use. The formation on him was very useful, and it could resolve urgent matters. However, this formation had some loopholes. He would be teleported to the place he was teleported from. Although Qin Feng and the 3 women were temporarily safe, they could only stay on this immortal island for now. If they wanted to leave, they could only appear above the molten lava. Little pig, what is that molten lava? Is it more powerful than my extreme ice? Qin Feng was puzzled. The extreme ice demon core in his body was the myriad beast true ice, and normal flames could not melt extreme ice. Even if Qin Feng was in a sea of fire, as long as he had the extreme ice to protect him, he would be fine. Little Pig's voice became solemn. Master, according to the system's judgment, that molten lava is the fire of heaven and earth. It is born with heaven and earth, and can melt anything. It is a level higher than the myriad beast true ice. Qin Feng thought of the system's classification of the intensity of flames in this world. From low to high, they were the natural fire seed, demonic fire, raging true energy fire, myriad beast true fire, and heavenly flame. The natural fire seed was a normal flame, such as the fire seed used for cooking. The demonic fire was a flame formed by demonic cultivators through demonic qi. The raging true energy fire was a flame released by a powerful cultivator who had stepped into the true energy realm. The myriad beast true fire was a flame produced by the demon core of a demonic beast or spirit beast. The most powerful flame was the heavenly flame. It was Qin Feng's first time encountering this kind of fire seed. After learning that the flame in the molten lava was a type of heavenly flame, Qin Feng accepted the fact that it could melt extreme ice. He also understood why Poison Sun City was so hot all year round. It was probably because of the heavenly flame underground. For a moment, Qin Feng was very depressed. He could not think of a way to resist such a powerful fire seed. Master, the heavenly flame is of a higher level than the myriad beast true fire. It is a fire seed with a mind of its own. Master can even think of it as a type of living creature. So, the heavenly flame can also be subdued. Little Pig got to the main point. Qin Feng suddenly became spirited. How do I subdue the heavenly flame? The theory is the same as subduing beasts. As long as you capture the will of the heavenly flame, shatter it, and pour it into Master's mind, you can subdue it. Little Pig made it sound simple, but Qin Feng knew it was not so easy. First, he had to be able to endure in the molten lava until he devoured the heavenly flame's mind. However, the heavenly flame was too powerful, and Qin Feng was afraid that he would not be able to endure it. Little Pig naturally understood the difficulty at the moment, so it suggested, Master, if you really want to subdue that unusual fire of heaven and earth, you can buy the 10,000-year-old ice armor from the system and try. If you really can't subdue it, Master can return to Immortal Island. Little Pig's suggestion was pretty good. Qin Feng looked through the system's inventory and quickly found the 10,000-year ice armor it mentioned. 10,000-year ice armor created by mysterious ice of heaven and earth, boundless ice seal. System price, 300,000 hedonist points. Qin Feng's mouth twitched. The 10,000-year ice armor was not cheap. He only had 369,000 hedonist points left. If he bought the 10,000-year ice armor, he would become a pauper. What's more, he owed the system 1 million hedonist points. Just thinking about it made Qin Feng's balls ache. Most importantly, it was Qin Feng's first time subduing a heavenly flame. He did not know how powerful the heavenly flame underground was. If buying the 10,000-year ice armor still couldn't subdue the heavenly flame, then it would be a wasted effort. Qin Feng immediately felt conflicted. This was a huge risk, but he knew that opportunity and risk coexisted. Master, there is no heavenly flame in the hedonist sovereign system. If Master successfully subdues this heavenly flame, you will be helping the system to complete its deficiencies. The system will reward Master handsomely, Little Pig suddenly said. Qin Feng's eyes lit up and he immediately stood up. At the same time, the system's notification sounded in his mind. Ding! Host Qin Feng has spent 300,000 hedonist points and successfully purchased the 10,000-year ice armor. The host has a total of 69,000 hedonist points. The host still owes the system 1 million hedonist points. Please work hard to complete quests and earn more hedonist points. Qin Feng had already made his decision. A dark blue ice armor appeared on his body. When he put on the 10,000-year ice armor, the ground under his feet started to freeze. Even the surrounding air was covered in a layer of ice. Some of the sunlight that shone into the ice armor was instantly frozen. It was a rare sight. The entire immortal island turned into a world of ice and snow. Everyone and the beasts were stunned and looked in his direction. Qin Feng, what happened to you? Su Ruoro's anxious voice traveled over. However, her voice was frozen, and the speed at which it traveled was dozens of times slower. Qin Feng was stunned by the power of the 10,000-year ice armor. This thing was simply a walking freezer. If he wore it on the streets in the summer, a group of people would definitely die of jealousy. I'll go test the lava underground. You guys, don't run around. Qin Feng's voice was also frozen. When his voice reached the three women's ears, he was long gone from the immortal island. Chapter 1461. After wearing the 10,000-year ice armor, Qin Feng suddenly felt confident. If this ice armor was too powerful, even the pool of lava underground would be frozen in an instant. When that time came, Qin Feng would take the three women to ice skate. Just as he was fantasizing, his figure landed on the lava. Instantly, all his fantasies were shattered. The 10,000-year ice armor melted at a speed visible to the naked eye. The originally dark blue color became clear. Holy crap! Did the system sell a fake? Qin Feng cried out. Little Pig complained. Master, please don't doubt the authenticity of the hedonist sovereign system. The 10,000-year ice armor you bought was made from a small amount of heaven and earth mysterious ice. But the lava you're standing on is the heart of a real mysterious flame's fire seed. Qin Feng already sensed the danger. He didn't dare to waste any more time and hurriedly activated the extreme ice demon core in his body. Under the dual effects of extreme ice and the 10,000-year ice armor, Qin Feng didn't feel the pain of being roasted in the sea of fire. However, he discovered that the 10,000-year ice armor and extreme ice were still quickly melting. At this rate, he would soon be toyed to death. Master, hurry and capture the mysterious flame's consciousness. Little Pig yelled urgently. Without needing it to say anything, Qin Feng had already started to concentrate. Ever since he drank the elementary spiritual potion when he subdued the giant winged fire demon, his spiritual power had increased fivefold and became incredibly powerful. A strange energy wave rippled around Qin Feng. The aura was like a group of living beings that were searching for other traces of life in the lava. After searching for a while, Qin Feng suddenly opened his eyes. He felt a consciousness hidden in the depths of the lava. When his consciousness came into contact with the other party, the consciousness quickly escaped like a loach. Boom boom. However, at this moment, the lava under Qin Feng's feet suddenly boiled, as if it was roaring angrily. The lava in the pool shot up into the sky like an enraged fire dragon. The sparks flew and completely enveloped Qin Feng. Qin Feng suddenly felt the temperature around him rise explosively. The 10,000-year ice armor on his body melted even faster. As for the extreme ice layer, it melted almost instantly. Master, You've angered the mysterious flame. Little Pig's voice was extremely anxious. At this moment, Qin Feng wore the 10,000-year ice armor, but he also felt like he was being roasted in a bonfire. His skin became bright red and his hair felt like it was on fire. In the lava, Qin Feng gritted his teeth and continued to capture the mysterious flame's consciousness. Due to the mysterious flame's emotions fluctuating, its consciousness became stronger and was quickly captured by Qin Feng. An invisible battle had begun. Qin Feng realized that the strange flame's spiritual power was extremely strong, and he couldn't control it for a while. Moreover, the strange flame became more and more violent, and the molten lava beneath his feet started to boil continuously. The 10,000-year ice armor had already turned from dark blue to light blue, and it seemed to be gradually becoming transparent. Qin Feng also felt his body getting hotter and hotter. He was even worried that the 10,000-year ice armor would shatter in the next second. If that happened, he would instantly turn into ashes in this magma. Master, the situation is bad. You should hurry back to Immortal Island. Little Pig was worried. Qin Feng knew his current situation better than anyone else, but he still gritted his teeth and persisted. The strange flame's telekinesis was completely under his control, and it was making its final struggle. Now was the time to test their endurance and courage. Qin Feng had spent 300,000 hedonist points to buy the 10,000-year ice armor, so he didn't want to waste all his efforts. Boom! Boom! The mysterious flame's consciousness seemed to be unable to hold on any longer. Its emotions had reached a state of madness. Lava surged out from the ground, and everything in the surroundings was instantly melted. The 10,000-year ice armor on Qin Feng's body couldn't hold on any longer. It became completely transparent and disappeared in the sea of fire. Little Pig yelled anxiously, but Qin Feng couldn't leave in time. He made his final struggle. At the same time, the people in Poison Sun City were all shocked. The temperature in the already scorching Poison Sun City skyrocketed. Many low-level disciples were burned to death in the sand. Everyone was in different areas, but they all looked towards the direction of the legendary heavenly fire. Flames shot into the sky, and the entire sky was burnt red. Holy crap! Poison Sun City is going to meet its end. Everyone, run! It's said that the reason why Poison Sun City is so hot all year round is because there's a mysterious flame hidden underground in the legendary heavenly fire. Could it be that the mysterious flame has changed? Hurry and go to the legendary heavenly fire. If we can capture the mysterious flame, it'll be a peerless treasure. All of a sudden, all of the disciples in Poison Sun City rushed towards the legendary heavenly fire. The closer they got, the more they felt the scorching heat. At the heart of the deviant flame underground, the boiling lava had disappeared, and there was an object lying in the bottomless pit. The object was charred black and had been burned into charcoal. At first glance, it was impossible to tell what the hell it was. Cough, cough. The ghost suddenly moved. He coughed and sat up. When he opened his eyes, 2 flames shot out from his eyes. The flames landed on the rock wall in front of him and instantly pierced through the rock wall, leaving 2 cracks that were hundreds of meters long. Master, you're still alive? Little Pig's incredulous voice sounded out. Qin Feng was so angry that he violently coughed again. You damned pig! Do you want me to die? Little Pig jumped around excitedly. Why would I want Master to die? I was shocked. Master didn't die even after that. His skin is even thicker than mine. Qin Feng rolled his eyes. He didn't know if Little Pig was praising him or insulting him. However, he quickly became excited. In the battle just then, he had devoured the mysterious flame's will and completely subdued it. Ding! Congratulations, host Qin Feng, for subduing the purple cloud celestial fire. The system rewards host Qin Feng 1 million hedonist points. The system suddenly sounded out, causing Qin Feng to be dumbfounded. Subduing the mysterious flame had given him 1 million hedonist points. The host has a total of 1,069,000 hedonist points. Would you like to repay your debt? The system continued to ask. Yes, Qin Feng replied. The host has borrowed 1 million hedonist points from the system and the interest is 0.1% per day. This loan has been going on for 20 days, so the host has earned 20,000 hedonist points. In total, the host has paid back 1,020,000 hedonist points. The host has a total of 49,000 hedonist points. Qin Feng let out a long sigh of relief. He was now debt-free. He started to check the mysterious flame. According to the system's introduction, the mysterious flame had a name: Purple Dusk Immortal Fire. The mysterious flame was faint purple in color, and its intensity was extremely fierce. Now that Qin Feng had subdued the Purple Dusk Immortal Fire, the mysterious flames had fused with him. As long as Qin Feng willed it, he could release the mysterious flame. Rumble! Qin Feng stepped on his golden wheel and flew to the ground. Ever since the Purple Dusk Immortal Fire was subdued, the lava underground had disappeared, and the strong suction force was also gone. He leaped into the air, and with a thought, purple flames surrounded him, burning the deep pit underground until it was purplish red. Qin Feng landed safely on the ground, and he noticed that the scenery in the legendary land of heavenly fire had changed. The poisonous weather had disappeared, and the surrounding temperature had plummeted. A cool breeze blew, and Qin Feng felt as if he was in the midst of spring. Qin Feng, what happened to you? Qin Feng pulled the three women back to the land of heavenly fire from the immortal island after learning that they were out of danger. The three women were shocked as soon as they landed, and they looked at Qin Feng, who was as black as charcoal. Qin Feng looked at his body, and he was also shocked by his current appearance. His clothes had long been burned, and his body seemed to be covered in a layer of black ash. He looked like a savage that had escaped from a cave on the top of a mountain. He immediately returned to the immortal island, jumped into the small lake under the waterfall, and took a cold shower. After the ashes on his body were washed away, his pure white skin that shone with a holy radiance was revealed. Qin Feng discovered that after subduing the Purple Dusk Immortal Fire, his aura had changed. He had a delicate and refined aura, as if he was an immortal that did not eat the food of the mortal world. When he returned to the legendary land of heavenly fire, the three women were shocked again. They discovered that Qin Feng had instantly changed from a refugee to a rich young master. Qin Feng, what happened just now? Why does this place look like a different place? The three women ran to Qin Feng's side, and Su Ruoro looked around curiously. A week ago, Su Ruoro stepped into this land. When she first arrived at the land of heavenly fire, she felt unbearably hot. If it wasn't for the fact that she was determined to find Qin Feng, she would have died in this boundless desert. But now, she discovered that this place was not hot at all. In fact, it felt like a spring breeze. As far as the eye could see, oases had appeared in the originally boundless desert. It was truly unimaginable. Qiu Ye and Chen Huan were also confused. As for why this place had changed, only Qin Feng knew. It was because he had subdued the Purple Dusk Immortal Fire, and Poison Sun City would no longer exist. Oh no! Someone is coming! Su Ruoro suddenly cried out, and everyone hurriedly looked into the distance. A large group of people rushed over from all directions, and dust flew everywhere. It was a spectacular scene. The three women became nervous. With their cultivation bases, they were cannon fodder in the divine land. So why did so many people come from all directions? Qin Feng stood in front of the three women like a towering mountain. He looked around with an indifferent expression, and did not take the newcomers seriously. Soon, more than 10 groups of people arrived at Qin Feng's side. They wore the uniforms of different holy sects, and as soon as they arrived, they were stunned by the scene in front of them. They wondered if they had walked out of Poison Sun City's territory. Hey, which sect are you four from? Someone yelled at Qin Feng and the three women. Someone else asked about the situation here. Have you been here all this time? What happened when the fire shot into the sky? Su Ruoro and the other two women were already flustered. They wanted to hide on the immortal island, but they discovered that Qin Feng had no intention of leaving. What does it have to do with us being here? If there's nothing else, leave this place. Otherwise, bear the consequences. Qin Feng stood in the middle of the crowd with an indifferent expression. Chapter 1462. The crowd was instantly in an uproar. They were enraged by Qin Feng's arrogant and cold attitude. "Brat, do you know who we are? We are the disciples of the White Sky Gate. Be careful, you won't be able to keep your life." Qin Feng looked coldly at the gray-robed man. "I don't care if you are from the White Sky Gate or the Southern Sky Gate. If you dare to say one more word, I'll turn you into ashes." Qin Feng was not afraid at all when surrounded by disciples from various sections. His words were extremely arrogant. The White Sky Gate disciple was stunned. When he regained his senses, he immediately raised his sword and slashed at him. "Brat, you're courting death." Rumble! Before the long sword landed, two beams of fire shot out from Qin Feng's eyes. The White Sky Gate disciple's body froze in midair and was instantly turned into ashes by the purple dusk immortal fire. The other three White Sky Gate disciples were about to attack, but they suddenly stopped on their horses. Their eyeballs were about to fall out of their sockets. They felt like they were dreaming. The crowd exclaimed. Qin Feng's godly skill of shooting fire from his eyes completely shocked everyone. Even Su Ruoro and the other two girls were dumbfounded. They even thought that they couldn't casually look at Qin Feng's eyes in the future. What if Qin Feng spat out fire from excitement? The sect disciples who were about to attack completely gave up on the idea. The people who were about to shout at Qin Feng swallowed their words back into their stomachs. There were more and more people surrounding them. The people who arrived first were still in a daze. The sect disciples who arrived later still didn't understand the situation. They thought to themselves, "Why are these disciples from other sects acting like idiots? Hey, your elder wants to ask you something. Answer me truthfully. The fire shot into the sky just now. I'm afraid the heavenly fire moved. Have you been staying here? Did you find anything?" A new Fish Gate disciple shouted at Qin Feng. After looking around, he realized that only Qin Feng's eyes were shining. As for the others, they looked like they were in a daze. The first batch of Holy Gate disciples looked at the Fish Gate disciple with sympathy. Some even looked at him like he was an idiot. The Fish Gate disciple was pissed. He suddenly pulled out the two battle axes on his back and shouted at the crowd. "Why the fuck are you looking at your elder? Your elder is warning you. I'm a real man. Don't pry into your elder's masculinity. And you brat, are you deaf or mute? Hurry up and answer my question." The disciples of the Yu sect still didn't know what was going on and were shouting at Qin Feng. Many people had playful smiles on their faces. Qin Feng glanced at the disciple, and immediately, two purple flames shot out. Before the disciple could react, the battle axe in his hand was melted into ashes. This time, the people who rushed over and didn't know what was going on were immediately stunned. They looked at Qin Feng as if they had seen a ghost. Qin Feng swept his gaze across the crowd, his voice full of authority. "There's nothing to study here. If you have nothing to do, go do quests. My eyes can shoot fire and I can't control it. If I burn someone to death, I won't be responsible." Qin Feng's words scared the crowd to death. Eyes that could shoot fire? Was this a human or a monster? However, some of the more knowledgeable disciples were extremely shocked. They had heard that the fairies, who had stepped into the immortal Qi realm, could walk on air and summon lightning and fire with a wave of their hands. In the blink of an eye, they could destroy all living things. Could it be that the young hero in front of him is a fairy realm master? It doesn't seem like it. Regardless of whether Qin Feng was a fairy realm master or not, the Holy Gate's disciples who rushed over didn't dare to stay here any longer. The crowd rushed over hurriedly and left as if they were fleeing for their lives. Only Qin Feng and the other three people were left on the boundless desert. Su Ruoro and the other two women were still in a daze. "Qin Feng, how can your eyes shoot fire?" Chen Huan asked in disbelief. Su Ruoro and Xiaoya also looked over curiously. They couldn't understand why. Qin Feng smiled and said, "Did you notice that the environment of this legendary land of heavenly fire has changed? It isn't as hot as it was before, and some oases have even appeared in the desert." Qin Feng's words caused the three women to nod. He continued, Actually, it isn't just this legendary land of heavenly fire that has changed. The environment and climate of the entire Poison Sun City have changed. Why is it like this? The three women were more and more surprised. The reason why Poison Sun City is so hot all year round, regardless of day or night, is because there is a heavenly flame hidden beneath this legendary land of heavenly flames. Now that the heavenly flame has been subdued by me, Poison Sun City has returned to its normal climate. After Qin Feng explained, the three women's expressions changed. Su Ruoro said, "Could it be the underground lava we fell into? Is that the heavenly flame?" Qin Feng nodded. With a thought, two purple flames shot out of his eyes. The purple flames shot into a small sand dune 100 meters away. The sand dune instantly turned into ashes. The three women were dumbfounded. The heavenly flame is called the Purple Cloud Celestial Flame. It has been subdued by me. The reason why my eyes can shoot flames is because of this. Su Ruoro and the other two finally understood. However, the shock in their eyes didn't disappear. They didn't expect Qin Feng to become so powerful. He could even subdue a spiritual object like the heavenly flame. Now that the three women had been found and the Purple Cloud Celestial Flame had been subdued, Qin Feng was in a good mood. He reorganized his thoughts and decided to send the three women back to Spirit Immortal City. Then, he would kill his way to the Thousand Shadows sect and take Zhao Lingxian away. Just as the four of them were about to leave, the sandy ground suddenly caved in. Endless yellow sand flowed into the ground, forming a giant whirlpool under their feet. In the blink of an eye, they fell into the whirlpool. "What's going on? Don't tell me there's another heavenly flame?" Su Ruoro cried out. Qiu Ye and Chen Huan also didn't understand the situation. However, the three women held each other's hands tightly. Su Ruoro's other hand grabbed Qin Feng's arm tightly. No matter what happened underground, the three women wanted to die with Qin Feng. Even Qin Feng didn't understand the situation. However, he was sure that there wouldn't be another heavenly flame in Poison Sun City. The sandy ground caved in very violently. Moreover, a strong suction force came from the depths of the ground. It was the same feeling as when the four of them fell into the underground lava. "Lil Pig, what's going on?" Qin Feng was depressed. "Master, even the extremely intelligent Lil Pig doesn't understand this time. Master, you should act according to the situation. If the situation isn't right, go back to Immortal Island and hide." The corner of Qin Feng's mouth twitched. He was very suspicious of Lil Pig's self-proclaimed, extremely intelligent words. After a few breaths, the four of them fell all the way down. Suddenly, they felt something under their feet. The temperature suddenly dropped. When they looked around, their eyeballs and jaws dropped to the ground. "Qin Feng, where are we?" Su Ruoro had a cute expression on her face. Chen Huan and Qiu Ye also had dumbfounded expressions. Qin Feng was even more incredulous. Not long ago, the four of them were under the scorching sun and endless sand. Now they were in a world of ice and snow. "Master, this should be the other of the two divine continents' perilous lands, Extreme Ice City." Lil Pig's voice sounded. Qin Feng immediately thought of Deacon Yi's words. There were 8 independent cities and 1 public fire beacon city in the divine continent. Other than that, there were 2 other perilous lands. One was Poison Sun City, where Qin Feng was just standing, and the other was Extreme Ice City. Qin Feng had never been to Extreme Ice City before, so he wasn't sure if this land of ice and snow was the real Extreme Ice City. He was even more confused. How did they suddenly fall from Poison Sun City to Extreme Ice City? "Hey, which sect are you guys from? Why are you dressed so strangely?" While Qin Feng and the others were puzzled, a group of men riding on horses came from the wind and snow. These disciples were all wrapped in thick cotton clothes, boots, and hats. Even the hooves of the horses they were riding on were wrapped in cotton cloth to protect them from the cold. Qin Feng and the others had just arrived from Poison Sun City. They were all wearing shorts and short sleeves. They looked like 4 idiots in the wind and snow. They had only arrived for less than half a minute, but the 3 women were already sneezing from the cold. Qin Feng looked at the group of men and asked, "Brothers, what is this place?" The 8 men on horses were stunned. They stared at Qin Feng as if they had seen a cave. The oldest among them said, "You guys don't know where this is and you came here? Why are you dressed like this?" What the elder meant was, "Why haven't you guys frozen to death?" Qin Feng didn't care about his words and asked again, "What is this place?" Everyone was sure that Qin Feng and the others really didn't know where this place was. Their expressions became even more strange. The elder said, "This is one of the 2 perilous places in the Divine Continent, Extreme Ice City. There is no sun all year round, and the temperature is below -30 degrees. I advise you to leave quickly, otherwise you will freeze to death." The elder warned them out of goodwill. However, Qin Feng wasn't worried about freezing to death. He had just subdued the purple cloud immortal fire in Poison Sun City. If he was frozen to death, then he would be seeing a ghost. Seeing the 3 women shivering in the cold, Qin Feng hurriedly walked to the center of the 3 women. With a thought, the purple cloud immortal fire in his body started to circulate. Instantly, Qin Feng was like a small stove, roasting the 3 women with warmth. "Huh? Where did you 4 come from? Why don't you guys feel cold?" The elder quickly discovered the abnormality. He saw that Qin Feng and the others were wearing thin clothes. They looked like they were bathing in the spring breeze in this world of ice and snow. All the disciples were dumbfounded. Qin Feng casually made up an excuse and said, "This is indeed our first time coming to Extreme Ice City. We don't know much about the situation here. Therefore, we are wearing thin clothes and didn't prepare much." The group of disciples that the elder led was speechless. Extreme Ice City was one of the 2 perilous places in the Divine Continent. Every year, many Sacred Gate disciples would freeze to death here. All disciples that came here to do missions would make ample preparations. Who would have thought that Qin Feng and the others would come here without any preparations? Moreover, they were standing in the snow like nothing had happened. The elder didn't know what to say. He didn't say anything more about the problem of keeping warm. "You guys came here to hunt snow beasts, right? Since we are fated to meet, let's go." Chapter 1463. Originally, Qin Feng did not intend to come to Extreme Frost City. He had inexplicably fallen here from Poison Sun City. However, since he was already here, Qin Feng decided to take a walk around Extreme Frost City. The harvest in Poison Sun City was not small. He thought that he would also have some harvest in Extreme Ice City. The 2 groups of people teamed up and moved forward. Qin Feng rode on the flaming dragon horse with Su Ruoro. The opposing disciple gave up a fierce horse for Chen Huan and Qiuya to ride. As they chatted along the way, Qin Feng found out that the 8 old men were disciples of the 100 Herb Hall. The 100 Herb Hall was similar to the herbal sect in that they mainly refined pills and collected spiritual herbs and spiritual herbs. The old man was called Bai Weijin. This time, he had brought a team to the Extreme Ice City to hunt snow beasts and collect ice crystals. The second reason was to find some rare and precious herbs on the 1,000-year-old ice mountain. "Young hero Qiao, you guys really aren't afraid of the cold? We've been walking for so long, yet you guys haven't shivered at all." Bai Weijin looked at Qin Feng in disbelief. Along the way, Bai Weijin and the others, who were wearing cotton-padded clothes and cotton-padded trousers, were shivering in the cold. However, Qin Feng and the others were wearing short-sleeved shirts and shorts as if nothing had happened. Qin Feng had a good impression of Bai Weijin. These people did not bully them by relying on their numbers. Moreover, the reason why Bai Weijin suggested for everyone to form a team was because he wanted to take care of Qin Feng and the others. "Hee, we've been used to the cold since we were young, so this bit of cold is nothing," Qin Feng said casually. Su Ruoro and the other 2 girls didn't believe him, but they felt warm all the way. They still couldn't understand why. Along the way, Qin Feng and Bai Weijin chatted happily. According to Bai Weijin, they were heading to the Snow Beast Canyon, where the snow beasts gathered. However, Bai Weijin warned Qin Feng not to enter the depths of the Snow Beast Canyon. He only had to kill snow beasts on the outskirts. In Bai Weijin's eyes, Qin Fan and the others were not very powerful, but Qin Fan did not explain much. Extreme Ice City was filled with wind and snow, and there was no daylight at all. It was snowing heavily all around, and visibility was less than 5 meters. When everyone was moving forward, Bai Weijian's expression suddenly changed. He jumped from the horse's back into the air and said, "Be careful! There are snow beasts! Rumble!" As soon as he finished speaking, he swung his palm down. Suddenly, loud noises rang out, and the snowstorm was thrown off course by him. Qin Feng could already tell that this person had stepped into stage 8 true qi. Not long ago, this kind of strength would have been a very powerful opponent for Qin Feng, but now, he couldn't even withstand the power of a single palm. Su Ruoro and the other 2 women were already panicking. They couldn't see what was going on in the snowstorm, and could only hear the continuous explosions and the furious roars of wild beasts. The 7 disciples of the 100 Herb Hall had already rushed over to support Elder Bai Weijian. Moreover, there were also disciples who told Qin Feng and the others to stay where they were and not move. This meant that they wanted to protect the 4 of them. Seeing the crowd disappear into the blizzard, Su Ruoro was a bit worried. "Qin Feng, they're all pretty good people. Will they be okay?" The 3 women were all kind-hearted by nature, and they looked into the depths of the snowstorm with worried expressions. Qin Feng discovered that after subduing the purple cloud immortal fire, his vision had become incredibly sharp. He could clearly see what was hidden in the snow. "Ruoro, you guys stay here and don't run around. If you encounter any danger, call me and I'll go take a look." Qin Feng had already flown over. He had already seen over 30 snow beasts charging over from the snowstorm. These snow beasts looked a bit strange. They had the heads of lions and the bodies of leopards, but they had snow-white fur all over their bodies. Each snow beast was nearly 2 meters long, and their 4 limbs were strong and powerful. They could jump over 10 meters in an instant. The 7 disciples of the 100 Herb Hall had average strength. Only 2 of them were at stage 7 true qi, and the other 5 were at stage 6 true qi. Under Bai Weijian's lead, the 7 of them were fighting with the snow beasts. The snow beasts were incomparably fierce, and their awareness of group battles was very good. Practically all of them had 3 snow beasts attacking 1 person, and they were beating the 100 Herb Hall disciples back. Roar, roar! With a wave of angry roars, 3 disciples were already pounced on by the snow beasts. The snow beasts opened their mouths and revealed their eerie white fangs. They looked like they were going to bite off the disciples' necks. Bai Weijian was anxious when he saw this. He wanted to go and help, but he couldn't get away. However, in this moment of imminent peril, several balls of purple flames suddenly appeared in the snowstorm. The flames seemed to have grown eyes, and they headed straight for the snow beasts. When the snow beasts touched the purple flames, they were burned to ashes. Roar, roar! The snow beasts that were attacking and chasing were stunned by this scene. They all stopped and roared at the sky. They seemed to be slightly afraid of the purple flames that came out of nowhere, but they couldn't find the reason for the appearance of the flames. For a while, these snow beasts weren't willing to leave, but they didn't dare to rashly attack the 100 Herb Hall disciples. Rumble! At this time, several more rays of purple light pierced through the snowstorm and shot over. 3 snow beasts didn't have time to dodge and were instantly burned to ashes. The remaining snow beasts couldn't stay calm anymore. They suddenly roared and ran towards the depths of the snowstorm. The 100 Herb Hall disciples let out a long sigh of relief. They didn't dare to chase after them. Elder, what was with the purple flames just now? Qin Feng didn't show himself from start to finish. The disciples were all confused. Bai Weijian was also confused. This was Extreme Ice City, a land of ice and snow. Fire was the last thing one would expect to see here. However, there were a few balls of purple fire that flew past and burned 6 snow beasts alive. Let's not think about this for now. Hurry and collect the ice crystals from the snow beasts we just killed. The rest of you follow me back. Don't let Xiao Feng and the others get into trouble. As expected, Bai Weijian was still thinking about the safety of Qin Feng and the others at this time. A trace of warmth rose in Qin Feng's heart. He had already flown back to Su Ruoro and the others. Qin Feng, how is it? Where are the people from 100 Herb Hall? The three women looked at him worriedly. Before Qin Feng could speak, a group of people ran over from the snowstorm. It was Bai Weijin and the others. Young hero Qiao, are you guys all right? Bai Weijin's voice came from the snowstorm before he arrived. Hearing the voice, Su Ruoro and the others calmed down. Qin Feng smiled. Senior Bai Weijin, we're fine. Where did you guys go? Is there something in front? Qin Feng pretended he didn't know anything. He didn't intentionally hide his strength. It was just that Bai Weijin thought the four of them were rookies from the start. Qin Feng was afraid that if he suddenly revealed his powerful strength, he would accidentally slap Bai Weijin in the face. That would be very embarrassing. After hearing Qin Feng's voice, Bai Weijin's tense heart also relaxed. At this time, he had already arrived beside Qin Feng. He panted heavily and said, "A few dozen snow beasts appeared in front. Luckily, we chased them away. It's best if we don't go deeper or else we'll encounter more snow beasts," Bai Weijin suggested. Qin Feng didn't care about the snow beasts. At this time, the sound of hurried horse hooves came from the snowstorm. After a while, everyone saw a group of people appear from the snowstorm behind them. Who are those people in front? Someone in the group shouted. Bai Weijin's expression became somewhat serious. He shouted, "I am 100 Herb Hall's elder Bai Weijin. May I ask which sect are you from?" There were quite a few people. From their clothes, they seemed to be an alliance formed by the disciples of the Four Sacred Gates. A white-haired old man in a black robe with a lightning pattern engraved on his chest said, "This old man is Thunder Mountain's sect leader Shan Shan. I heard that 100 Herb Hall mainly collects spirit herbs and spirit plants. They also know how to refine pills of various ranks. Is that true?" That white-haired old man had already arrived beside Bai Weijin. Bai Weijin instantly felt a strong pressure. So it's sect leader Shan Shan. 100 Herb Hall is only a small sect. It's not as powerful as the rumors say. The rest of the people had already arrived and directly surrounded Qin Feng and the others. Another 3 old men rode to Shan Shan's side. Looking at this posture, the 3 old men were also quite powerful. At the very least, their status was not lower than Shan Shan's. "Let me introduce you. This is 3 Life Dao's Dao King Lu Xiao. This is Proud Cloud Sect's sect leader Fei Tian. And this is Ancient Sword Sect's sect leader Gu Yijian." After Thunder Mountain's sect leader Shan Shan introduced them, the disciples of 100 Herb Hall had incomparably grave expressions. They had heard of these 4 sections. Their power was comparable to 100 Herb Hall. However, these 4 sects were all led by their sect leaders. How could Bai Weijin and the others compare? It's actually the 4 seniors. Bai Weijin greets the 4 seniors. Bai Weijin hurriedly said nice words. He was afraid that these people had come with ill intentions. That 100 Herb Hall disciple was also very perceptive. He immediately imitated Elder Bai Weijin and greeted the 4 people. However, he saw Qin Feng and the 3 women riding on the back of their horses as if nothing had happened. They didn't seem to care about these people's arrival at all. The smile on Shan Shan's face suddenly froze. Originally, he was quite satisfied with the performance of the people of 100 Herb Hall. However, he didn't expect the man and 3 women to be so unruly. He looked over with a cold expression and shouted, "Yo! Where did these 4 people come from? Wearing short sleeves and shorts in extreme Frost City? Are they retarded or are they too hot-blooded?" Only then did Bai Weijin remember Qin Feng and the 3 women. He hurriedly signaled Qin Feng with his eyes. Qin Feng naturally saw it, but acted as if he didn't see it. Bai Weijin was extremely anxious. Seeing that Thunder Mountain's sect leader Shan Shan's expression was getting colder, he hurriedly came out to mediate the situation. "Senior Shan Shan, they aren't Sacred Gate disciples. It's also their first time entering Extreme Frost City. With your status, why bother with them?" However, Shan Shan didn't give Bai Weijin any face. He had already stopped his horse in front of Qin Feng. "Brat, you're very arrogant, huh? You haven't even joined the Sacred Gate and you dare to disrespect this old man? Do you want to stay here forever?" Seeing that Shan Shan was about to attack, Bai Weijin was so anxious that he broke out in sweat. He hurriedly rushed over. Senior Shan Shan, they aren't Sacred Gate disciples, so they don't understand our martial arts etiquette. I hope that you won't fight them. As he spoke, Bai Weijin secretly signaled Qin Feng with his eyes again. Qin Feng was still indifferent. On the other hand, Su Ruoro and the other two women were more or less worried. After all, the other party had so many people and there were 4 sect leaders overseeing them. They seemed very powerful. Chapter 1464. Brother Flash. Don't mind those insignificant ants. 3 life sects Dao King Lu Xiao rode over. Proud Cloud sect's sect leader Fei Tian and Ancient Sword sect's Gui Jin also came over. Flash immediately understood LV Zhao's meaning. She suddenly looked at Bai Weijin and said, Brother Bai, it's fate that we met here. You also called us seniors, so you should take out some treasures to show your filial piety to us. Otherwise, how can you show your respect to us? Shan Xian clearly wanted to steal the cultivation resources of the people of 100 Herb Hall, but she still made it sound like she had a reputation. Bai Weijin's expression turned cold. He was worried when he saw these people, but he didn't think that what he was worried about would happen. Senior, we're here to kill snow monsters and collect ice crystals. We've only just stepped into the Snow Beast Canyon, and we haven't even caught a single snow monster yet. We really don't have anything to give you. Flash sneered. Heh! Old brother Bai, are you kidding me? Do you think I, as a sect leader, care about a few ice crystals? What I want is the pill that you're hiding on your body. I advise you to obediently hand it over, lest something unpleasant happens between the two of us. Flash seemed to be a bit impatient. Bai Weijin was furious, but he didn't dare to explode because he knew he wasn't her opponent. Bai Weijin was about to take out his pill bottle when he heard Qin Feng say, Senior Bai, why are you giving them pills? I don't believe they would dare to rob you. Qin Feng's words shocked everyone. Bai Weijin was about to die from anger. Flash and the other 3 looked at Qin Feng like he was an idiot. They thought that this person was sick in the head? Stinking brat, do you really want to die? Flash had a fierce expression when she saw that Bai Weijin's action was interrupted by Qin Feng. Qin Feng acted as if he didn't see it and said calmly, Do you think you can kill me? You're called Flash Waist, right? You even sprained your waist, so why are you still yelling? Everyone was startled again, and soon, laughter came from the crowd. However, everyone wanted to laugh but didn't dare. Even the 3 women were amused by Qin Feng's cold humor. It was just that Bai Weijin couldn't bring himself to laugh. He thought to himself that the extreme ice city was already cold enough. Could this brat stop mocking him? People will really die, you know? When Flash came back to his senses, he was so angry that he wanted to slap Qin Feng to death. However, he was stopped by Dao King Lu Xiao, who was beside him. That's enough, Brother Flash. Don't forget the purpose of our trip. Since we've met here, why don't we travel together and take care of each other? Lu Xiao was dressed in a white robe and had a mustache. When he spoke, his mustache moved back and forth. He seemed to be speaking up for Qin Feng, but Qin Feng could clearly see that the mustached Taoist priest and Flash seemed to be communicating a secret with their eyes. In the end, Flash really did calm down. Consider yourself lucky. This old man will let you off this time. Flash angrily glared at Qin Feng. Qin Feng laughed inwardly. If this old man had really slapped him with his palm, then he would have been burnt to ashes by now. Flash then looked at Bai Weijin and said, Old brother Bai, I don't want your pills. I have a big errand. Are you willing to join us? Bai Weijin didn't believe Flash's nonsense and pretended to be in a difficult position. Senior, the strength of our 100 Herb Hall's disciples isn't high. We can't do a big errand. Flash shouted with some dissatisfaction. You don't even know what the big errand I'm talking about is. How do you know you can't do it? I'm not afraid to tell you that the reason our 4 sects joined forces to enter Extreme Ice City is to go to the depths of the Snow Beast Canyon to find the legendary Snowstorm King. Your 100 Herb Hall should come with us. When the time comes to kill the Snowstorm King, you won't be lacking in benefits. Bai Weijin's expression kept changing. He couldn't understand Flash's thoughts. However, Bai Weijian still felt that these people didn't have good intentions. He persisted and said, "Senior really thinks too highly of us. How can we insignificant juniors fight against the Snowstorm King? Senior, please let us go. If we really go, we'll become everyone's burden." Bai Weijian refused again and again. Flash's expression turned ugly. However, at this time, Qin Feng suddenly stood up and said, "Is there really a Snowstorm King in the depths of the Snow Beast Canyon? Elder Bai, why don't we go and take a look?" Qin Feng thought of the system's mission to subdue the 10 great savage beasts. This Snowstorm King's name sounded very powerful. It could definitely be judged by the system to be one of the 10 great savage beasts. Qin Feng planned to meet this Snowstorm King. Couldn't be better if he could subdue it. Bai Weijian and the 100 Herb Hall's disciples looked at Qin Feng speechlessly. They finally understood the saying, "Don't be afraid of a godlike opponent, but be afraid of a pig-like teammate." That's right, Bai Weijian felt that Qin Feng was a pig-like teammate. He somewhat regretted inviting Qin Feng's group of 4 to go together. This was the rhythm of digging a hole for him. Flash was stunned for a moment, then quickly laughed. "Ha ha! Yes, this brat finally said something reasonable. Old brother Bai, come with us and take a look. If you refuse again, then you're not giving me face." Since the Flash had already said this, Bai Weijian couldn't refuse. Moreover, he saw that Qin Feng wanted to go to the depths of the Snow Beast Canyon no matter what. He was worried about Qin Feng, Su Ruoro, and the other 2 women, so he could only bite the bullet and agree. Evil smiles flashed in the depths of the Flash's and the others' eyes. Qin Feng saw it clearly, but pretended not to know. The group formed a new group and continued on their way. When everyone stepped into the Snow Beast Canyon, many scattered snow beasts gathered. The 30 or so snow beasts earlier had already caught 100 Herb Hall off guard. Now that the Flashes and the others had joined them, even if there were hundreds of snow beasts, they wouldn't be able to kill them. Moreover, after killing the snow beasts, the Flashes and the others were too lazy to collect ice crystals. They only left some disciples to collect them, and the 4 of them continued to lead the group forward. Along the way, Bai Weijian's expression was very grave. He secretly gave Qin Feng a few looks to tell him to be more wary of the Flashes and the others, and to escape immediately if he discovered any danger. However, he discovered that Qin Feng didn't even look at him, which made him furious. After walking for an unknown amount of time, there were more and more snow beasts around them. However, towards the end, the Flashes and the others were too lazy to kill the snow beasts. They just casually used a few big moves to scare the snow beasts away. Everyone felt the temperature drop, and the blizzard in the depths became stronger. Aside from Qin Feng, Su Ruoro, and the other 2 women who looked as if they were bathing in the spring wind, everyone else was shivering from the cold. Roar, roar! Suddenly, a deep and powerful roar came from the depths of the blizzard. The Flashes and the others' eyes lit up, as if they discovered a treasure hidden in the snow. Handlebar Mustache Dao King Lu Shao hurriedly waved his hand, and the 4 groups of disciples behind him all stopped. "Is that the Blizzard King's roar?" Flash said uncertainly. Ancient Sword Sect leader Guijian frowned. "The roar's aura is incredibly strong. It's most likely the Blizzard King." The 4 of them became more and more excited. Flash suddenly looked at Bai Weijian and laughed. "Ha ha! Old brother Bai, it's time for you to show off. Hurry and cut your wrists with your disciples, or else I'll do it myself." Everyone from 100 Herb Hall was shocked. Was this Flash an old pervert? Why did he ask them to cut their wrists for no reason? "Senior Flash, what are you doing?" Bai Weijian had already realized that these people were up to no good. It seemed like the fox's tail was about to be revealed. A hint of impatience appeared on Flash's face. "What's with all the nonsense? If I tell you to cut your wrists, then do it quickly. Otherwise, when I make my move, I'll directly cut off your heads." Bai Weijian was quite angry, but he didn't dare to explode. Qin Feng suddenly jumped off his horse and landed on the ground. He said to Flash, "Why did you tell the guy who sprained his waist to cut his wrists? Is there something wrong with your brain?" Flash had tolerated Qin Feng for a long time. Now that he had tricked everyone into the depths of the Snow Beast Valley and found the Blizzard King, he no longer had any other concerns. He immediately sent a palm towards Qin Feng. "You ant. I'll first smack your head off and use your blood to lure the Blizzard King over." Qin Feng finally understood. Flash and her group had tricked them into coming here to be bait for the Blizzard King. Rumor had it that the Blizzard King was most interested in human blood, and would appear when it smelled blood. Rumble. A loud sound suddenly exploded in the air. Everyone from 100 Herb Hall screamed. They thought that Qin Feng had already been smacked to death. Gu Yijin and the others had a playful look on their faces. However, their smiles suddenly froze on their faces. Everyone looked towards the snowstorm and discovered that Qin Feng was standing in the same place with his hands behind his back, as if he hadn't moved at all. Flash's figure had already disappeared. Was he temporarily covered up by the snowstorm? Handlebar Mustache Dao King LV Xiao sensed an ominous feeling and hurriedly shouted Flash's name. However, other than the whistling sound of the wind, there was no other sound to answer him. Gui Jin and Proud Cloud sect leader Fei Tian's expressions also turned cold. The three of them had a guess in their hearts. Could it be that Flash had been killed? However, this idea was quickly denied by the three of them. Flash was the Thunder Mountain sect leader, an expert who had stepped into the early stage of True Chi Stage 9. Among the people present, besides the three of them, who could kill Flash? Brother Twinkle, say something? Don't rush into the depths alone to kill the Blizzard King. You're not a match for that demon beast. LV Xiao shouted a few more times, but there was still no reply. Instead, Qin Feng's indifferent voice came from within the snowstorm. "Stop shouting. That guy has been killed by me." As soon as these words came out, everyone was shocked. The surroundings immediately quietened down. Only the whistling of the wind could be heard. Everyone from 100 Herb Hall looked at Qin Feng as if they were looking at an idiot. They thought to themselves that this person was really tired of living and dared to spout nonsense. Su Ruoro and the other two women actually didn't understand the situation. Qin Feng had killed Flash in an instant, and no one had the slightest idea. "What nonsense are you spouting, you lunatic? Let me destroy you." Dao King LV Xiao of Three Lives Path roared angrily. He leaped high into the sky and his figure disappeared within the snowstorm. Suddenly, a loud sound came from within the snowstorm. Several icicles attacked from within the snowstorm, shooting towards Qin Feng. Chapter 1465. The moment Dao King Lu Xiao made his move, Qin Feng was able to see through his realm. Just like Lei Shan, he was also at the initial stage of True Chi Stage 9. Qin Feng had eaten an inner foundation pill not long ago, so he had also stepped into the initial stage of True Chi Stage 9. Originally, it would not be easy for him to instantly kill someone of the same realm, but now that he had subdued the Purple Cloud Immortal Fire, he was undefeatable in the initial stage of True Chi Stage 9. The crowd screamed. The people of 100 Herb Hall, Su Ruoro and the other two girls looked over worriedly. The instant Lu Xiao made his move, his aura was fierce and invincible. The ice spikes that flew through the air blew the blizzard away. However, a purple flame blossomed in the blizzard. This scene was extremely strange, and even Gu Yijin and Fei Tian were stunned. Lu Xiao, who was in the middle of the purple flame, had a face full of fear. Before he could even finish his attack, he immediately retreated. Rumble. The purple dusk immortal fire kept exploding in the snowstorm, melting all the snow around it. That half of the void seemed to have suddenly become a vacuum. The wind and snow couldn't enter. Everyone was astonished by this marvelous sight. Especially in Extreme Ice City, there was actually a flame. Even the Sacred Gate's powerful disciples couldn't use fire techniques here. For example, the Blazing Sun sect, which mainly cultivated Blazing Sun techniques, would become a group of trash in Extreme Ice City. "Brother Gu, what's going on?" Proud Cloud sect master Fei Tian asked in astonishment. Gu Yijin's face was also full of confusion. He couldn't answer Fei Tian's question at all. Although Dao King Lu Xiao retreated in time, his body was still touched by some of the flames. The seemingly dying flames instantly burned his black robe clean. At this moment, Lu Xiao was standing in the world of ice and snow, so cold that he kept sneezing. "Brat, you're lucky. If it wasn't for the purple flame, you would have already died." Lu Xiao's attack failed, and he was beaten into a sorry state instead. He couldn't keep his face any longer. However, up until now, no one had realized that the purple flames were released by Qin Feng. Moreover, they were shot out from his eyes. Qin Feng ignored LV Zhao's vicious words. He was slightly shocked. Logically speaking, those two purple dusk immortal flames should have been able to burn LV Zhao to death. Who would have thought that the snowstorm in the depths of the Snow Beast Canyon was so powerful that it actually froze and extinguished the heaven and earth strange flames, allowing LV Zhao to survive? "Oh? Then you can come and kill me again. I promise I won't move." Qin Feng looked at LV Zhao indifferently. Everyone had different emotions. The disciples of 100 Herb Hall were so angry that they almost fainted. The disciples of Gujin sect and Proud Cloud sect were sure that Qin Feng was an idiot. LV Zhao was a bit unsure. He wasn't afraid of Qin Feng, but he was afraid that the strange purple flame would appear again. However, since Qin Feng had said this, if he didn't do anything, wouldn't he be slapped in the face in front of everyone? "You little grandson, I, Lu Xiao, will let you die a graveless death today." With a roar, LV Zhao leaped forward again. His aura surged and he flew across the snowy ground like a nimble swallow. In the span of a few breaths, he was once again above Qin Feng's head. The people of 100 Herb Hall were worried for him. However, they saw Qin Feng standing with his hands behind his back, as if he hadn't seen LV Zhao's attack. In the snowstorm, a trace of his laughter could be heard. "Donkey Roar? Your name is really unique. Could it be that you know how to bray? Do you want to perform it for everyone before you die?" LV Zhao's movements slowed down in midair. When he regained his composure, he was so angry that his body was about to explode. His hands suddenly danced like the wind, completely changing the direction of the snowstorm. However, before his attack could land, there was a huge explosion in the air. The strange purple flame appeared again and melted the ice and snow. Rumble! LV Zhao and the ice and snow exploded and melted at the same time. In an instant, blood and flesh splattered everywhere, dyeing the originally white snow red. Because the ice and snow had all melted, the originally blurry vision became incomparably clear. Everyone clearly saw the moment LV Zhao was burned by the purple flame. His eyeballs and chin instantly fell to the ground. The sound of the explosion quickly dissipated, and the purple flame also disappeared with the wind. Everyone stood in the snowstorm like ice sculptures. That was the sect leader of the Three Lives Path, LV Zhao, a powerful existence who enjoyed the title of Tao King in the Divine Continent. How could he die so easily? Wasn't this too much of a joke? The atmosphere fell into a strange state. No one could regain their composure for a long time. Qin Feng walked towards the crowd with large strides as if nothing had happened. He stopped beside the sect leader of the Proud Cloud sect, Fei Tian, and the sect leader of the Ancient Sword sect, Gu Yijian. "You two hurry up and cut your meridians. Lure the Blizzard King out." His words woke everyone up with a start, but also shocked them. Without waiting for Fei Tian and Gu Yijian to speak, Bai Weijin hurriedly ran over. "Cough, cough. Brother Qiao, don't say any more. Follow me to the side and stand." Bai Weijin still didn't understand the situation. He thought that the purple flame was a miracle that fell from the sky. He sighed in his heart at Qin Feng's luck. He almost died in LV Zhao's hands. But before Bai Weijin pulled Qin Feng away, Fei Tian and Gu Yijian had already regained their composure. The two originally came to Extreme Ice City with the sect leader of Thunder Mountain, Flash, and the Tao King of the Three Lives Path, LV Zhao. They wanted to find and kill the Blizzard King in the depths of the Snow Beast Canyon. But now, before they even saw the shadow of the Snow King, LV Zhao was already dead and Flash was missing. The two were filled with anger. They suddenly looked at Qin Feng and decided to vent their anger on this brat first. Fei Tian was a step faster. He had already jumped off his horse and landed on the ground. He glared at Qin Feng and roared, You want me to cut my wrists? Are you tired of living? Qin Feng acted as if he didn't hear his vicious words and asked a strange question. What's your name? Fei Tian was startled. He was dumbfounded by Qin Feng's unconventional behavior. When he regained his composure, he patted his chest and shouted arrogantly, Open your dog eyes and look carefully. I am the sect leader of the Proud Cloud sect, Fei Tian. Qin Feng curled his lips and said, After talking for so long, you're called Fei Tian, right? Fei Tian rolled his eyes and almost fainted from anger. His patience was completely exhausted and he suddenly slapped Qin Feng with his palm. How can an ant like you casually call me by my great name? Rumble! Before he could finish his vicious words, Fei Tian was really sent flying by Qin Feng. The crowd cried out in surprise again. Qin Feng's attack speed was too fast. Everyone didn't even see clearly what happened. They only saw sect leader Fei Tian flying in the wind and snow. Following that, a strange purple flame exploded in the sky. Even Fei Tian's body was blown to pieces. This time, the atmosphere was completely frozen. All that was left was the sound of the howling wind. No matter how stupid the crowd was, they understood that the purple flame wasn't a natural phenomenon. It was probably released by Qin Feng. When they thought about how this youth killed 3 revered experts of the true Qi realm in succession, the disciples of the 4 sects were already trembling in fear. Gu Yijin jumped down from his horse. He was prepared to kill Qin Feng together with Fei Tian, but Fei Tian died halfway. He was so scared that he immediately froze on the spot and didn't dare to move an inch forward. Qin Feng looked over with a playful expression. What's your name? Gu Yijin's heart began to tremble. He discovered that LV Xiao and Fei Tian died after announcing their names. I am Gu Jiansek's sect leader, Gu Yijin. I have no grievances with Young Hero, nor do I want to be Young Hero's enemy. Gu Yijin still opened his mouth. As a sect leader, he couldn't be forced by a little brat to the point where he didn't even dare to say his name, right? If this was the case, how could he continue living in the divine continent? That purple flame didn't appear again. This made Gu Yijin let out a long sigh of relief in his heart. However, he heard Qin Feng say at this time, Your name is a bit more normal. Then I'll let you live. Don't just stand there. Quickly take those disciples and cut their wrists. If you can't attract the Blizzard King over, you'll all die. Qin Feng's words were arrogant, but he said it in a matter-of-fact tone. The people of 100 Herb Hall were already stunned. Qin Feng didn't kill Gu Yijin just because this person's name was considered normal? If this matter were to spread, it would definitely shock the sacred sects of the entire divine continent. Gu Yijin's expression was extremely ugly. He was the dignified sect leader of Ancient Sword Sect, an expert at the early stage of True Qi Stage 9. When had he ever been bullied by others? Not to mention this young brat in front of him. However, Gu Yijin still didn't dare to make a move. The scene of LV Xiao and Fei Tian exploding was still vivid in his mind. Thinking about it, he felt a lingering fear. Young Hero Xiao, aren't you being a bit too overbearing by doing this? Gu Yijin said with a cold expression. Overbearing? Why did you 4 sects drag me and the disciples of 100 Herb Hall here? You don't need me to say it, right? Qin Feng sneered. Gu Yijin was instantly speechless. They dragged Qin Feng and the others here to use their blood to lure the Blizzard King out. Don't waste time. My patience is limited. If you don't want to cut your wrists, I'll directly turn you into ashes and save you the trouble. Qin Feng's expression was ice-cold. Gu Yijin's chest rose and fell vigorously. It was obvious that he was quite angry, making him the dignified sect leader of Ancient Sword Sect. Cut his wrists? He might as well let him die. Stinking brat, do you really think I'm afraid of you? Disciples of Ancient Sword Sect, listen to my command. Let's destroy. Rumble. Gu Yijin's words were only halfway through. Just as the disciples of Ancient Sword Sect were about to make a move, a loud explosion suddenly exploded. Gu Yijin, who was standing in the snow a moment ago, suddenly disappeared. However, the snow where he stood was sprinkled with blood. The disciples who were about to make a move suddenly stopped, and their eyeballs fell to the ground. Everyone still didn't see how Qin Feng made a move. They only saw a purple flame envelop Guijian, and this revered martial artist at the early stage of True Qi Stage 9 was turned into ashes. At this point, the sect leaders of the four sects were all killed by Qin Feng alone. Everyone could also be sure of one fact: that purple flame was not a natural phenomenon, but a godly skill used by Qin Feng. By Wei Zhen, who had always thought that Qin Feng's strength was low, suddenly remembered the purple flame that appeared when they were attacked by the snow beasts. So it was Qin Feng who helped them at that time. Bai Weizhen finally understood why Qin Feng was so fearless along the way, and even didn't put the four sect leaders in his eyes. It was because he had the capital to act pretentious. You're tuning in to the Dreamy Chapters YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.